Talk that shit, man. Let's go. We ready to pod tonight.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 135 of Psychotic and Iconic. Paul's here along with my co-host Nick Theories, Philly Phil, and two special guests. To my right, we got Mike, the Spanos, and across from me, everybody's favorite barber, Jay Hollywood, especially my son, Uncle Jay.
Uncle Jay.
Thank you for everybody that's tuned in to the live stream tonight. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and share it. Thank you to everybody that likes, follows, and subscribes to all of our platforms. If you need merch, send us a DM. We got tank tops, hoodies, long sleeves, and t-shirts. If you're fat or skinny, it doesn't matter. We got you. What's up, guys?
Let's go.
Straight to the point.
Straight shooter.
What's up, guys, man? I'm so happy you guys are here, man. It's just, it's been a long time coming, actually. We've talked about that a long time ago, and the fact that you guys are here together, it's going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to the show.
Hell yeah,
Welcome
man. Thanks
aboard.
for the invite.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely,
awesome.
bro.
I love the setup.
Absolutely, man.
All right, so how we starting off tonight? We're going right into the fantasy football, the catastrophe that happened in that Bills-Bengals game. Obviously, everybody thoughts and prayers go out to Damar Hamlin, but we're going to talk.
Good news about that, I think, today, right?
He was released.
Released, yep.
Released, yeah. So
cool.
That's a blessing.
major
right
step into his recovery and all that. I hope everything goes well. But we're just going to start out talking a little bit about how people were rectifying the fantasy championship.
Cool.
Nick, since you were in the championship and you had Josh Allen, T. Higgins, and Gabe Davis in that game,
Mhm.
and you were playing against Stephon Diggs.
Yep, down 12.5 points.
Let everybody know what Mark, not a very good fantasy player, but a very good commissioner.
Oh, man, you going to do him like that?
Of course.
Oh, man, he won last year. He
Of
beat me in the
course.
chip, so I
Yeah,
can't.
that was
I
last
can't-
year. I don't remember that.
I can't really speak
But
to
no,
that,
I want
though.
you to tell our audience and everybody what he decided on, because I thought it was, I didn't think of it, but when he brought it to our attention, I thought that was the best possible solution. And then after that, we'll go into and see everybody else's, what they thought that we could do.
Yeah,
to get
sure.
that going.
Shout out to Mark. He's in the audience tonight. I appreciate it. He beat me last year in the championship.
Marky's out
So,
there.
Yeah, of course he is. He's tuned in.
What's up, Mark?
And so what we decided on, and this was genius by Mark. I didn't even think of this myself. And he said we're going to hand calculate the scores of both players' first playoff games and amend week 17 scores. So that means the next meaningful game, which is the playoff game, is going to be the championship. That's going to be the score settler, right? Which in a way, I love it, right? Because it's meaningful. Whereas if we did the last game of the season, it wouldn't have been like, you don't know who's playing at halftime. It's like somebody's going to get boned,
People
and
players.
yeah. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think it's like that's a smart way to do it, or would you split the pot and not?
I got a really unpopular opinion.
Yeah, go ahead.
Game's over. We take all these different fantasy games. Somebody gets hurt. The situation itself sucks. Like, it's extremely horrible what happened to this kid. Amazing player. Just for that to happen on the field. No one is expecting that. But also no one's expecting their quarterback. And I'm a Cowboys fan, for Dak to snap his ankle. And I'm living with that.
Mm-hmm.
As a Cowboys fan, as a fantasy player, it's kind of like no one's really tossing me a bone. That's why it's fantasy. So, like I said, I think that's how the games end when all these things come into play. That's how this game ended. And unfortunately, you could go back. Like, we're not justifying when quarterbacks break their legs and we're going to start to swap out players for them and we're going to try to justify what we're doing. It's like, that was the game. We had to deal with that. So, like I said, I don't think anybody really is going to like that, but that's how the game ends. Any other circumstance, what do? We take it. That's what it is.
I actually thought, so
Okay.
for me, my first thought process was co-champions split the pot down the middle.
That's what we did in my league.
That's what I
respectively.
thought. And like I said, I know the whole co-champions thing sucks, but I just felt like that would have been like, it is what it is. I mean, look, now granted, Nick would have gotten screwed in that because he has three players to one, and it's two studs and one good player. So when you see it, I'm like, okay, he was down 12 points. Now granted, he has Josh Allen and Sheamus had Diggs. But for me, my initial thought was split the pot, co-champions, and call it a day. Then when Mark came up with that, came up with his idea, I'm like, okay, I actually like that idea. And it helped because neither of those teams have the bye. They're both in the playoffs this round, so it'll be decided on Sunday.
Playing for something.
They're both playing for something. So I actually really did like Mark's idea when he brought it to our attention.
I love it. How about you, Span?
I think that was probably one of the most fair options you could do because, like, obviously no one thought the game was going to stop or whatever. I did have one that I thought of later. I don't know if it was my original take or if I heard it somewhere, but I thought if you really wanted to do it and settle it differently, you could do a head-to-head FanDuel or a DraftKings. Like you just call it even slate. You know, you pick a team.
That's
she
fun.
picks a team.
That's fun.
Just go at it. Because I think you guys split the pot anyway, right? And it was like, did you do a little bonus for the winner?
No.
You just
Well, so we decided to. It was 1,400 for the second place, and then first place gets the rest, right? But my thing is like, if you're in the championship, you can't tie, fam.
No.
Fuck that. I'm too competitive, bro. I got too much passion in me to be a fucking co-champ. I'm not a co-champ. I'd rather lose than be a co-champ. Like, that's just me, bro. You know what I mean? Like, circumstances aside, I totally understand everything. Like, that's not being insensitive. That's not what I'm saying. But I'd rather settle it in the playoffs. If I lose, I lose. At least I lost fairly.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to split, bro. I the co-champion thing. It's just like when you have a trophy, I don't want to see two names in 1 year. Like, I don't know. It's just, it feel like it's like a tarnished.
Especially
it's like
since
tarnishes it.
You got the
and
asterisk.
Jameis were champions.
Yeah. So we're trying to battle for the
I want to be the first.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I love it. I honestly think it's a fair way to settle the score.
Definitely good thinking by Mark.
The fantasy option I heard too. I don't know if it was you that told me. Do the like the fantasy week FanDuel, excuse me. I mean that makes sense too, but at that point that's legitimate luck.
The main thing I would say with Jay's take with the keeping it as it is, if there was such a discrepancy where like say you were up 40 and all he had was like a kicker, then it's like I'm not gonna worry about that. Like you won. Like,
Yeah.
So
right.
that happened in my league. I was up 172 to 70. He had Josh Allen. No, Josh Allen was not going to scoring 100 points.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
I mean, and well, here's the thing with Sheamus too. Sheamus did have a 12-point lead. Now, although that's not a huge amount, but at the end of the day, Stephon Diggs can give you 30 or 40 on any given night.
He could.
So
absolutely.
it is, you know what I mean? So that's why I was saying it was hard. It was hard to find, the right way to do it.
I don't think anybody
common
was going to
ground.
win or lose. Somebody was going to lose regardless, and somebody was going to win.
Yeah.
That's why I got a little bit of a harsher opinion on it. We get screwed over. We lose a defense. We lose a wide receiver. We're out.
Who's got their volume on?
That was me.
Oh, that's regular.
That's regular. I know. It's just
yeah. I don't even need to ask, bro. I really don't.
Don't be disrespectful in front of the guests. All right. All right. Appreciate that.
I apologize. All right, guys, we're moving on. Do you guys anything more to say on that?
Pornhub or something.
Seamus is in the building. That's my guy.
What's up, Gal?
What's up, Shane? Can't wait to settle the score on Sunday, man.
Shit.
Yeah. No, I like I said, if Diggs puts up 40 and I lose, then I lose. Right.
Yeah, agree.
He digs her out. I don't know, yo. We talk about it to this day, yo. Like when you nicknamed all your fantasy players, and we laugh our asses off.
Some of the nicknames are still alive.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's go.
Legacy
I mean, it sucks because Juddy Pipes took your spot and he's horrible.
It's okay.
Yeah, he's some trash.
Mustin.
Excuse me, I forgot Mustin.
Look, I will say this right now, though, and I need your viewers to challenge this. The hardest name in fantasy football, the Seattle Seahawks.
It's the best name ever.
It is the hardest team in the league. Back to
no
back
pun
this year.
intended.
No, there's a huge pun intended. That's exactly what she said.
All right, guys. You got anything more to add on the fantasy aspect?
I don't, man.
Let's just hope for a speedy recovery.
Let's
keep this guy going.
I don't know if you remember a couple weeks ago when we were in the shop, we were getting cut with Jay.
Yeah.
And you said it was still the semis, and I said I think it's going to be you and Shane. And you were like, "Yeah, you think?" And I was like, "I just feel it."
You called it,
right.
man. You called it.
Right.
Yeah, it did. Dare he was the points leader. He beat me by a couple, which was a real,
Derek had a squad. And what's crazy about
he gets
Sheamus?
no credit.
Real fast, what's crazy about Sheamus is like he lost Cooper Kupp.
I know.
Yes.
Still
because
made
it's
it.
funny
Yeah.
when who was the running back that went down on the Seahawks? The starter. No.
Chris Carson.
No, it wasn't Carson this year.
Rashad Penny.
Penny.
Yeah.
Rashad Penny.
If Tom changed, she wouldn't get a penny.
Facts.
So when he went down and Kenneth Walker came in and he started exploding, I was telling him, I remember it was right after him. I'm like, with Kenneth Walker, dude, like unless there's an injury, there's no beating Sheamus. Like it's just you can, but his team was constructed, and then when you get Walker, who became an RB1, it was just like you just had to hope that one of his teams.
Yeah, because he has Mahomes, he had James Conner. James Conner was tearing it up like towards the end of the season.
When he got back from injury. In the beginning, Kupp, Diggs.
Yeah,
his team was loaded.
Big three. I feel like in our league to win, you have to have at least a big three.
Yeah,
three heavy hitters every week. And his Mahomes, Kupp, Dig was like, ooh.
I mean, right there, that's 100. That's at least 100 points a week.
Fantasy changed, fellas.
It does.
It's to be honest with you, it's quarterback driven.
Absolutely.
If you don't have a
Yeah.
quarterback, you don't got shit, man. You're in trouble.
I found that out the hard way. this
Yeah,
year.
it's tough. Like a running quarterback is such a cheat code these days that it makes a difference. It gives you an edge.
Absolutely.
That's a,
If
you know
get
what I
that
mean? Like,
extra-
I can't believe I'm going to say this right now. I was relying on Jalen Hurts all year. Yeah.
He's a great.
But he did
fantasy-
it.
was
He
a
got me
great
the championship
fantasy
finals.
quarterback.
Shout out Hurts.
Hurts, baby.
and Jay,
30 points a week. You can't argue that.
you drafted
can't
Eckler,
argue
didn't you?
I got the dream team.
That's right, baby.
Jalen
Eckler.
Hurts, Austin Eckler,
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper was solid.
He was.
And right when I needed him too.
Mhm.
And the man that I thought was going to burn the team to the ground launched me to the win. Mike Evans.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
That
last
week-
Jeez. the
F-
championship.
what do you have? 58 points in your league that week?
In my league, he had 58 points.
Wow.
It was unreal. And I actually wasn't watching the game. I thought it was over. That Tampa game was just rough to watch.
Yeah,
Didn't-
14-0. I was like, oh shit.
Dude, I get a
Didn't
random
Brady
text message
himself-
like, yo, dude, you're smoking this fool. I'm like, I'm eating barbecue, enjoying myself. I'm like, oh shit. I was calling it quits, man. He had the squad. I actually thought he had me the whole game.
Mhm.
And then next, 172-72. I'm like,
3
let's
touchdowns right
go.
there. Yeah, put you right back into it
Oh
for
my
sure.
Didn't Brady himself say something like after the game, like for all the people that sat Evans in fantasy for the championship? Like,
People
He did.
actually did
He
that.
commented on it. Yep.
People did that.
I'm sure they did because he wasn't really doing that much in terms of fantasy.
Yeah, but the winners that I've always seen in fantasy, when you've won, there's no straying if it is a power player. Like you just don't put them down. You ride the wave.
You start your
Yeah.
studs.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Dude, I lost last year. I put in Derek Carr against the Jets over Aaron Rodgers against the Vikings. And that was when, he had COVID. Remember that? Busted his toe, had COVID. I'm like, Rodgers is going to get trashed.
COVID toe.
COVID toe.
Say Tovid.
Dude, I thought he was done. So I put Rodgers on the bench. I lost by 5 points. Derek Carr had -3. The Jets weren't doing anything all year, and they tore up Derek Carr because I sat my stud. The one stud you don't sit. Maybe this year it's a little bit of a different thing. But
the first insult that would be in
Painful.
our group chat would be coaching, right there.
Coaching.
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
Great coaching.
Yeah.
Good job there.
Oh man, fantasy's fun, but it's fickle.
Yes. All right, guys, we are moving on. Which playoff game are you looking forward to the most and the least, and why?
Psychotic-Iconic.
Start it off, Jay.
Game most and least, it's the same game. It's Cowboys and the Bucks, man. It's a lot of fucking pressure on this game, especially from a Cowboys fan. I mean, look,
Preach.
Aaron Rodgers has been our Achilles heel for years in big games. By the way,
Shout
I
out
know
Detroit Lions for not letting him in.
Mhm.
yeah, we're just shutting them out, and I appreciate that. They really took us forward. Now Rodgers isn't going to be our upset, but I'm really not sold that Brady can't upset us. We haven't won against Brady at all.
Ever.
We're inconsistent as fuck. Like the Cowboys got to be the most it's tough wearing this jersey sometimes. I can't even lie to myself. But here it is. It's still on.
You believe?
Yeah, because you know what?
You ain't even confident in that.
You know why? This is what I'm going to say. It might be a little out of pocket, but I think there is more money in the NFL to see the Cowboys play the Eagles. That's what I see. I see it from that perspective.
I mean,
see-
that's a very valid point.
Look,
that
Tom's
would
on his
shatter
way out.
records.
Tom's on his way out. And look, Tom has blessed us with how many years of some of the greatest football ever.
And scandals.
Oh, I love it too.
Oh, you're
I
gonna go
love
that
them all.
route? Is that's what you're gonna do?
No,
Oh, this is what we're doing. That's crazy,
He's trying
fam.
to put him down. He's like a lion going out the pastures. Like, give him one more little. You know what I mean?
I have to when I can.
I
I
respect
gotta start moving different.
And what game are you looking forward to the least?
that one as well.
Oh yeah, you did say both.
Yeah,
My bad.
absolutely.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah,
No,
you
you're
said
Be on the
about
edge of your
pressure.
seat the
No,
whole game.
realistically,
And we got to wait until Monday.
Yeah, Chargers Jags realistically, because you know what? That is my excitement game of the week. I'm really excited to see that because Eckler has led me to the promised land twice so far, and the Jags are fucking hot. Sunshine is on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Football.
Sunshine. Who you got, Nick? Who's your team? Game you're most looking forward to?
Outside of Brady and the boys, of course, it's definitely the Chargers and Jags. You got two young quarterbacks, Justin Herbert, who's 24 years old. You got Trevor Lawrence, who's 23 years old. Two quarterbacks in the youth of their career going at it in the playoffs. Neither of them have a playoff win. This is major for Herbert, I would think, more than I think he's more pressured than Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor played. I kind of played a playoff game last week.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because Justin Herbert is regarded as an elite quarterback. He's like
the old Bill Parcells.
Yeah,
comment.
he's
the
top
anointing
five.
Cream was out for him.
He is though. He is. Like,
Yeah,
he's
right.
definitely one of the top quarterbacks.
Right, but you got to win in the playoffs when it matters most. When you got that team around you, you need to perform at your peak, man. Like you got Mike Williams who might not play, but you still have Keenan Allen, Joshua Palmer, who's been excellent this year. You have guys like Nick Bosa. I mean, I'm sorry, Nick Bosa, Joe Bosa.
He's still out though.
Yeah,
right?
you got studs
I think
all
Joey's
over that
back,
team.
right?
No, Joey's back.
Joey is back.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah, they got studs all over that.
Yeah, him and
all
Mac
over.
on both sides now.
Yeah,
I get to
so
do it all year.
for me, it's the young quarterbacks going at it in the first round. I'm excited about that. The Jags are hot, by the way. They won 5 straight games. They beat the Titans twice. They beat the Cowboys, the Jets, the Texans. Trevor Lawrence in those 5 games is averaging 256 yards per game, 8 touchdowns, and he has 2 interceptions in those 5 games. That's pretty impressive for a second-year quarterback.
Absolutely.
I would say so.
Dougie P.
But yeah, no. And then I know that the Chargers got blown out by the Jags early in the year,
Trashed him.
but Austin Eckler had 4 fucking carries. Come on.
Remember
Come
we
on.
talked about this in the very beginning where I got shafted in my league. I had started Austin Eckler. First 4 weeks, I was like, yo, I'm about to trade this guy.
Yeah.
Like,
I
this is-
I
he's
felt
losing
bad.
the
I was like,
games.
shit, did I make the wrong pick? Like, I'm telling everybody, yo, get Eckler. And then he just wasn't existent for the first month. But
was
yeah,
looking
I don't
foolish.
think that's going to happen this time around. So the Jags give up the seventh most rushing yards at home with 134.6 and 100.9 on the road. So they're even worse at home against the run than they are on the road. So this game is played in Jacksonville. You have Austin Eckler, who's on a tear, leads the league in touchdowns. They have to get him the ball. So that is also a matchup that I'm looking forward to the most. So yeah, this game is very intriguing.
Wait,
There's a
he beat
lot
out
of things
Jamal
on the line.
Williams?
Huh?
He beat out Jamal Williams?
Yeah.
He actually
Austin Eckler.
Yeah, he
Austin
got him
Eckler.
at the end.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah,
That,
Eckler.
Jamal Williams was like James Conner of last year.
And you know what's fucked up?
Going nuts.
You know what's
For
crazy?
no reason going
Yep,
nuts.
I know.
Austin Eckler led the league in touchdowns back-to-back years and didn't make the Pro Bowl. Can somebody explain that to
He's a
me?
really
Disrespectful.
disrespected running
He's
back.
so
It's crazy.
disrespected.
You
He's
know what?
disrespected, man.
Hold on. Well,
Come
I know,
on,
I know
bro.
you're going to feel me on this. If you were not in a PPR fantasy league, would you draft Austin Eckler? I wouldn't. I'm gonna say that dead flat. I would not touch Eckler as I took him as a second pick. I'm taking him second pick with Christian McCaffrey style play. You know, they're dumping the ball off to him. You're going to get an average of what? 10 throws to that guy. That's a potential just 10 points right there. And because they're dumpers, you'll get at least 8. So then you throw 8 points on top of a touchdown and you're sitting at 14 points. So if he gets anything past 50 yards, which isn't that hard to do, you're looking at almost 18, 19 points.
I agree.
Now take away
That's
those
smart.
catches, take them 8 points away. It's like, okay, where are you at now? Now he's just an average running back.
But for the Pro Bowl, I feel like everything matters. Pass catching ability, running ability,
It is sad
the
he's not in.
impact on your team matters. Like, know.
Chargers factor because Pro Bowl is still fan votes, right?
yes.
And the thing with the Chargers
Yeah.
is
Chargers are like that weird team that nobody
Stupid.
really
they
thinks.
don't really
about.
have no one. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just gonna say. They're not like a big name, like a big brand. They're
I
just-
feel like they
Certain teams are like
are.
that.
I love the Chargers.
They're up and coming. The brand is up and coming.
With everything they have
Go
now.
Chargers, go. Remember?
Arnold.
Yeah.
Dude, they're going to lose Allen soon, though. He's got more grays in his beard going on now. Like, he's getting old. Guy can't stay on the field for more than 3 games a year. He gives you great fucking points when he's playing, but
Right.
I mean, how much longer are we actually going to get that? You know, how much more of this are we going to get from some of these players we're watching like decline right now?
I think he's still productive though when he's healthy.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
But he's got to be healthy.
Keenan Allen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
That's another thing with that team. They're dangerous with their big players are injury prone. Like Keenan Allen's always hurt.
Bosa.
Great. Bosa,
Yeah.
injury.
Mike Williams now.
Mike Williams now. Even
Oh, I didn't even think of Mike Williams.
even Eckler.
He's a beast. He's a really underrated receiver. I think Mike Williams is a stud.
He is
But
a
the problem
stud.
is this year he was just injury riddled. After week 5 or 6, when he messed his ankle up, after that, it was like every time he planted or tried to toe tap, he was out with an ankle injury. And it happened again this week. So they were saying, but I mean, he practiced today, so I think he's going to play Sunday.
I would hope for the
But
playoffs.
What's the audience think? What games are you guys looking forward to the most,
Who you
and
got?
why?
Who you looking for?
Span, how about you?
Oh no, who was your least looking forward to game?
The least was let me check. It was the Dolphins and the Bills. Self-explanatory. No Tua.
Same, Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, no Tua. There's no
Everybody got
juice.
robbed of the Sunday morning game.
And
Sunday
Tyreek is a little
and,
gimpy too.
And Teddy's out. These are my two as well.
Yeah.
I had Dallas, Tampa for obvious reasons.
Mhm.
Also, I had a buddy of mine who actually recently just passed away from cancer. He was a big Bucks fan.
Sorry to hear
Oh,
that,
I'm
dude.
so sorry to hear that,
It's
man.
all
Man,
right, it's all right.
Damn.
He was a huge Bucks fan. We actually lived together for a couple of years too. And he was always, me and you go back and forth with
Yeah,
my
with Brady,
My
yeah.
Brady hate. He hated Brady. He was on my team for the longest time. And the second the Bucks got Brady, he bought a jersey. He was like, dude, I'm riding the wave. He
The
was like,
TB12 effect.
he was like, I'm riding the wave. And the thing I will say, he did get to see them win that Super Bowl before he passed.
That's
So,
dope.
That's
That's
amazing.
awesome.
cool. Tip of the hat.
Yeah.
Shout out to my buddy Shane. Don't be greedy. Let us have this one this week. And the Buffalo Miami game, because Tua's turning in, his brains are turning into mashed potatoes now.
I know that's
It's a
crazy.
shame, but I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if he's going to play again the rest of the year. I mean,
Mhm.
Is he
Well,
already
this is
contracted?
probably their last game. I don't think they stand a chance with him.
nah, they're not going to
No.
beat Buffalo. That's right. What am I-
Yeah, I don't think they stand a chance.
And
And,
then-
here's the thing: he might have even been okay to play. I just think at this point, it's like it's
They
not
have-
worth
they
the
have
risk
to.
right now.
Yeah, they
The
have to.
backlash too
Take a year,
is also
take the rest of the year and
yeah.
get yourself together, and then in September you can come back. But like Shannon Sharp and them were talking about this on FS1. Like he needs to learn how to fall.
Yeah.
When he falls, he
He just,
really
like,
does
whips
fall
his
like a
head,
ton
yeah.
of bricks.
Mhm.
He just collapses, and that's why he keeps smacking his head off the floor. So that's for me is definitely the least game. For the most, the game I'm looking forward to the most is the Jags and the Chargers and the Cowboys and the Bucks on Monday night.
So we all agree pretty much.
Yeah.
yeah,
those
I
are
mean,
the
well, here's the
games.
thing
I think
with the
so.
Bengals have
Another backup.
another
situation.
backup, and they're not sure if Tyler Huntley's going to play, so it might be their third string. I think it's like Anthony Wright or something like that.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought one of you guys were going to say Cincy and the Ravens as the least favorite game.
That was
That's one of them. I mean,
yeah.
since he's going to dominate them too, but
I just thought
Baltimore,
maybe Baltimore just might have, just because they're Baltimore, they might
Yeah.
have like the balls in them.
yeah,
But like, I just see Miami. They look like shit the last couple weeks.
I know.
There's a lot going on in Miami, unfortunately.
I'm
Not going
really
on.
just for me with Monday night with Brady versus Dak and them. I mean, that's just going to be that is like for a Monday night game in the playoffs. That's awesome, man. And there's a lot on the line there too, because like McCarthy's job, Dak Prescott hasn't been playing too well. He's got to step up. This is where you can make names for yourself. This is where you turn it around. This is where you start getting supporters behind you. You could start building a playoff resume.
Absolutely.
So and like you guys know, I'm not a Cowboys
Yeah.
fan, but I like Dak. So it's. But we'll
Let
get
me
to our
ask you
picks. I
guys a
appreciate it.
question. Let me ask you guys a question.
I got the sticker.
What do you guys think of the Monday night game? Do you think that's an unfair advantage for the winner because they're going to have a short week?
Yes and no. I love the idea of it, but I would love to have 3-3 on Saturday and Sunday.
The idea is the revenue they're going to
Yeah, of
generate.
course,
That's
yeah.
the idea. But is it fair for the teams that are like whoever wins is going to have a shorter week than somebody who played Saturday? Is that fair?
Not really. That's what pissed me off about it originally too, when they finally announced like how it was going down. Obviously, it makes sense. Dallas Cowboys, America's team against Tom Brady, the most decorated quarterback in history. One last ride possibly for him. Who knows if he's retiring after this year? So it's like, all right, I get it, but it's like, come on, NFL. You get every Thursday night, you get every Monday night, you get every Sunday night. You got Amazon Prime. Now it's like, you guys are swimming in money. Like,
Amazon
chill
Prime
out.
sucks, by the way.
It does.
That
It's
is the worst
It's
thing
worst.
ever.
Well,
They got
Thursday night
better.
Games suck in general, but then
Yeah.
now you add it on Amazon. You're like,
Dude,
oh,
they sold Jeff Bezos the worst game.
They did.
They were like, yo, he's got bread. Just have him buy
he's
these
like,
fucking
yeah,
games.
he's like, whatever.
Well, bro, they had like
He's got the money
five.
to do it.
They have 5 Broncos games.
Ugh.
And you know how
the
bad they
Broncos
were.
are
That in and of
supposed to be
itself.
good. I don't care what anybody fucking says.
Close but no cigar.
Yo, Broncos country, nobody's riding right now. Nobody's riding.
Let's hide.
Oh,
They
my
got
God.
flat tires. They
Oh.
got flat tires.
Jesus,
Because
Ross
Broncos
got no
country is in
tires.
shambles.
Yeah. Well, they
Broncos
had a
country.
lot of primetime games. So, that hurt, the Thursday night games as well.
Yeah, I think they really banked it on that one. And I'll be honest, I think a lot of football fans definitely saw Russ running for his life in Seattle for years. And it's like, wait a minute, you're going to put him behind a line? You're going to give this guy time. You're going to give him Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton. You're going to give him. I mean, not that DK and Tyler Lockett weren't weapons, so they were some scary boys.
Well, now,
Scary duo.
now everybody here on the news, they say they need to rebuild the offensive line. The offensive line isn't that good anymore. Maybe it's just Russ ain't that fucking good. I mean, it really could be that Russ isn't that guy anymore.
I know.
Which I do believe, but that's a different story for a different day.
Yeah,
He had his run for a while. I mean,
He did. It was a great run.
He's been in the league now.
They had a good run.
They can't. When did he come in? 2012
Was it 12?
man, they overpaid that cat. That cat got his last bag and was like,
or maybe 2010, somewhere around there. I forget.
I also think with him, he was kind of an anomaly. I feel like he was more an ad lib quarterback as opposed to like a system quarterback, and they just kind of let him do his thing. And how many times did he just break the pocket, do something crazy?
We were talking about
85%
he's
of the
not. Russell Wilson wasn't a stand in the pocket and pick
No,
you apart. It
not
was
at
his
all.
legs that made him dynamic and made him
And he did some
scary
crazy
defense.
stuff. Like
He did,
hats off.
and
to
he
him.
never took big hits. He never did that. That's why he never got hurt.
he's a smart quarterback. He is a very smart quarterback. His
Yeah.
instincts are on.
Well, he has his own
99.
office to study.
Does he?
Yeah.
Should
And he
And
doesn't.
Broncos
And he
don't
doesn't sleep, right?
And he doesn't have to worry about parking when he goes to the stadium. He's good.
And on the plane, he does his high knees.
So you're saying I should do high knees, get my own office,
Yeah.
and not park at my park. You
Yeah.
know what?
And don't sleep.
And don't sleep.
Don't sleep.
You know what? This guy's my hero.
Yeah, he's amazing. I want that. I want that treatment. Then when I go to work, and not
That's
perform.
right.
I want that type of treatment, and then go to work and not perform and see how it works out.
Could you imagine?
All right, guys, moving on to our next topic. We're going to rank the top 5 quarterbacks in the playoffs. This should be fun.
Iconic and
Let's
iconic.
go.
Who wants to start this one off?
Braj.
You want me to go?
Let's
first?
go.
wanna go?
All right.
Let's go,
I,
handsome.
I'm doing this one a little differently because I've assumed, especially with Nick, I know where he's going with this one. Everybody's going to probably have different rankings with the experience and the pedigree and the resume.
I got Tyler
I
Huntley.
got you.
So I went.
Number 1.
I just went. You went Brock Purdy. I went 100% analytical. Just my
No biasm here. No,
no
biasm.
biasm. No biasm. So number 5, no one's going to have him on their list, but when you look at his stats this year, I'm going to actually say his stats first, and you guys aren't going to guess it, even though Mike's probably looking at my shit right now. But all right, 69.8 completion percentage, 4,282 yards, 30 touchdowns, 100.9 quarterback rating, 11 interceptions. Out of that list of the playoff quarterbacks, who do you think that is?
Joey B.
I can't say it because I know who it is.
Man, Geno Smith.
Geno Smith. Yeah.
Let's go.
So just on an analytical thing, the guy definitely deserves comeback player of the year.
I love that
Nobody
pick, dude.
thought Geno Smith was going to do anything this year. So the
I
fact
stayed
that
away
he
from
had
him.
those,
I
yeah,
did. I stayed away.
absolutely. Who would in their right mind think he was going to do anything? But I put him at number 5.
Nice.
And number 4, everybody's favorite quarterback this year, Jalen Hurts.
Wow.
Really? 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Even I
on
rank
a-
him higher than that.
See what I mean? Normal Cowboys fan. That's what I was trying to tell our audience.
yeah,
They don't wear see-through Jordans and jorts.
I am the most realistic Cowboys fan.
I
I
have on
will.
clean white
I will
socks.
yes, I do. I will rip. I will rip the Cowboys when they're due.
Are the
But-
jorts wrong? Can we not wear those?
The Jordan. What's the Cowboys starter meme? It's like the
Jordan
the Jordan 7s.
The chin strap.
The chin strap.
and like a 3X white tee.
Yeah.
That's the 2 on top of the ball field. I know
Yeah,
that one.
yeah.
2 on top, shadow.
Yeah.
field.
Cowboys
And then
teams
this is our year every year, right? Yeah, of course. But yeah, Jalen Hurts, he had an amazing season this year. Hard to really knock the guy other than is he healthy all the way this year or going into this playoff run.
Okay.
Number 3, I got Josh Allen. I think arguably the best quarterback in the league, but the other 2 I think might have a slight edge on him right now. My number 2, I got Joe Burrow. The guy just, I don't know, man. He just balls out every time. They started off the season, 0-4 or 1-4?
0-2, and then I think they were 2-4.
Okay, so they were ass.
That's what I think.
And
yeah.
now they're like
They were strong.
They're a threat.
Yeah, they were
win
team,
it all.
They were team Pauls.
Ooh.
Don't dog yourself like that. Come on. You had it. You had the right combo in the beginning.
I know.
But and then number 1, Patrick Mahomes. He just had an unreal year this year. And I think the Chiefs are a scary team that nobody really is talking about. He lost Tyreek Hill.
60% of his offense, he lost.
Yeah.
All of his 60% of his offensive points off the board.
He didn't-
Still there.
He didn't have a 1,000-yard wide receiver. He threw for, I think, 46 touchdowns and 5,400 yards, and you lost Tyreek Hill.
That's insane.
That's amazing.
Insane.
That's amazing. That's why I said, like, the gap now between Mahomes and the second best quarterback is enormous, and there's not really a way to fight it. There's not really anything you could say that can make a
He's just
compelling
that
argument.
dude, yeah, right now.
Yeah, like it is what it is. He earned it.
Brother's gay shit. Don't
Yeah,
like him. Don't
yeah,
like him.
yeah.
But he's the man.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Dude. He's wild on the top.
His TikTok's not cool.
See, is that going to be a challenge though? Because that's what I'm going to say. Where everybody's arguing this whole MVP race. It's like, I'm sorry, it's Mahomes. It's Mahomes.
That's who my
I had Hurts.
I
No,
had
don't get me wrong,
Hurts.
I have Hurts literally right next to him, but Hurts got an improvement to the team. His team improved around him. Mahomes lost the number one wide receiver this year, lost a couple of his regular average receivers that made Tyreek even better. Like he literally did it with a tight end, a washed up Juju, Valdez Scantling. Like, come on, almost 5K plus, and this guy lost 60% of the points he scored the prior year. How do you argue that?
Remember in the beginning of the year too, Tyreek Hill came right out of the gate, and everybody was like, "Damn, Kansas City fucked up. They shouldn't have done that." And then Patrick Mahomes still finished the season over 5,000 yards passing. You're like, okay.
It showed they didn't need each other. Like,
Yeah,
I
they're
think they
both
were
just
both
great
better as
individually.
separate
Yeah.
entities. Like Tyreek made Tua way better than Tua was.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, Tua's trash.
Just throw it
Tua's
up.
trash.
Throw it up to Hill, and he'll get it.
Nick, who you got?
Top 5. All right, I'm going to start at number 5. I got Tom Brady at 5. 4, I got Jalen Hurts. 3, I got Joe Burrow. 2, Josh Allen, and number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. I think that's a pretty
I'm surprised you
respectable
put Brady
list.
low. I thought you were going to
Solid.
give him the pedigree.
I'm a realist, bro.
All right.
You know,
that's fair.
I'm fair. Dude, when he plays bad,
Right.
I come on his
Yeah, it's
podcast and I
obviously
say, "Yo, he plays like shit. He played like shit." Like I'm real about that. But the championship pedigree is the reason why he's on that list. 7 rings. It's the experience. Come on, man. The Bucks still have a decent team. I mean, I think their defense is still there. They still have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. It's just they haven't really clicked this year. But I do trust the general when it matters. When all the chips are on, they're pushed in the middle of the table. Give me Tom Brady any day of the week, man. He had 4 game-winning drives this year. I mean,
He needed them boys.
double
too.
digits, by the way.
Needed every one of them.
Double digits, yeah. And they needed every single. If they lost one of them, they're not even winning division, which is crazy.
And if they pull it off against Dallas, would you really be that shocked if they went on a run?
No,
I wouldn't really.
no.
Yeah.
It's
They
one of
still
those.
have a lot of those pieces from
Yeah.
that Super Bowl run. So it's like maybe they just needed to get through the season and make it to the playoffs. I don't know. I'm hoping that's not the case, but
Yeah,
if they do beat Dallas, I don't know. They could go.
I mean, he's
He's
kind of
on a
playing
roll.
the same role he played, when he played for the Patriots. The whole division was ass.
Mhm.
He only had a few real winning seasons. He just had to get through the regular season. That's all he had to really do. It's like he's playing the same role again now. Not to say
I
that that's
think-
how it fell into play, but
I think he did that on purpose too, because I think he is very cerebral with his decision making and everything. So when he left the AFC East as everybody in the East was
getting better.
going better. Yeah. And he was like, nah, I'm out. Then he went to the South and everybody was getting worse and everybody's ass in that division. And they're not going to get better anytime soon. That division's ass.
Dude,
So
the
if he wants to
Panthers
stay there-
almost
Maybe,
did it, though.
maybe,
They really were
but-
like this fucking
yeah.
close. Like, oh, you piece
But-
of shit.
Oh, look at they're not even 500 this year.
but the 45-year-old quarterback was
Yeah.
throwing fucking 60-yard passes, bombs. cuz.
Still has it.
I
Still
mean,
has it.
Yo, that is one thing that it just gets really discredited. You're 45 years old and you're bombing the ball like that, in week 16 or 17. That's insane. He threw the most passes in his career this year. That is crazy. He's 45. You think his arm would fall off? It's not happening.
Yeah.
It's just not happening.
It's the diet, man.
Yeah.
The diet.
It's the avocado ice
His
cream.
face is just
I
completely
don't like
sunken in there at this point.
I don't fucking like it.
Who you got, Jay? Who's your 5? Pause.
Whoa.
Cool.
Who's your-
All right. So I'm going to start off at number 5. Burrow. I think he's got some of those games where you see the fire in his eyes, but it's extremely inconsistent. Now he's getting hot, obviously, towards the end of the season. He's really showing that he's going to be pretty much one of these fucking big dogs in this fucking playoff series. But I got him at number 5. No one's going to agree with me on this one, but I got Dak at number 4. for one reason. When that cat is laser focused, when he's playing, he is fucking undeniable. The only problem is if Jerry Jones gets off the fucking field, maybe he can stay that way. You know, when Jerry Jones just takes himself out of the equation and let these people play ball. I got Dak. I got Dak at a strong 4. You know, if he actually can be the quarterback that they're fucking paying him to be, then guess what? It should show. Number 3, Josh Allen. I see inconsistencies in him. Still an amazing player, one of the best. And this is my 2 that, you know, it's pretty much what I said earlier. I got Hurts at number 2. Hurts at number 2. He slung the ball all year, ran the ball. Undeniable, man. Undeniable. And then, of course, Mahomes at number 1. I already busted it down, you know. The numbers don't lie for Mahomes. Yeah, Hurts' shit looks sexy. The running touchdowns, the yards that he's getting, he's pulling the weight for the team when when the team can't do it. But look at it this way, Patty's not doing none of that. He don't have to. Patty don't have to do that. He don't have to get scrambled out. And I think the Eagles line is better than the Chiefs.
Chiefs line's not that good.
No,
Mahomes
they
is
fucking
running-
suck.
Mahomes is running a lot.
Well, they got injured too.
Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, I just see Mahomes as my number 1. I can't argue that. He will be the MVP. And, you know, I will say this. Good job for Hurts, man. Like, stud season, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't argue that.
He should get his flowers. Who's your 5, pal?
So number 5, I have Skull,
Oh, God.
Kirk Cousins.
I don't know why, but go ahead.
Number 4,
Yeah,
I have
I'm out. I'm
number-
out.
Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk, baby. 3 for 4,500 yards, nice amount of touchdowns, 29 of them things. So, I mean, look, with Kirk Cousins, I don't understand it. I'm not a Kirk Cousins lover, and I've never loved him. And I've always shit on him for the most part, just saying that he's mid. But he had an excellent season. They won the division. They were 13-4. What is there to argue?
It's the regular season, family.
So what? Doesn't that come into the playoffs?
It does,
Yeah.
but it's the regular season. When everything is on the line, you trust Kirk Cousins? Fuck no.
I will on Sunday.
I can tell you're not a Dallas fan
Go
because we've
ahead.
been living with this for years.
Pro-
Romo puts
go
up
ahead.
35, defense lets up 36. It's the story of our lives.
Let's see. So starting off with
Go
Kirk
ahead.
Cousins. Number 4, I got Josh Allen. Number 3, I got Jalen Hurts. Number 2, I got Joe Burrow. And number 1, I got Patrick Mahomes.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
The only here's the thing. Is Allen overall more talented than Hurts? Yes. But Hurts protects the ball better than Allen. And you can't do what Josh Allen did this year and win playoff games. It's just it doesn't cut. And it's the red zone interceptions that are the problem.
It's risky. He's risky. He's very ballsy.
He still makes those dumb decisions at the most inopportune times. And until he cleans that up, I can't get over that. Now look, he's got a bye week with the Bills. I mean with the Dolphins. But next week he's probably going to play against Joe Burrow and the Bengals, which will be an awesome
think they're
rematch.
going to play him. Yeah, they got to play him, right?
Yeah,
They gotta play him,
definitely.
right?
Yeah, I mean they're not going to play Case Keenum.
I
But
think Case Keenum could do it.
he probably could against the Dolphins.
Yeah,
But-
no quarterback.
Yeah, that's where I had them boys.
I think that game's closer than people think too.
The Dolphins game?
Absolutely. I think they think that the fucking Bills are going to railroad them. They forget the Dolphins still have a stout defense. I think that's what's going to go down in these playoffs. It's like clear-cut winners, but they're not going to be easy winners. Like, I don't think, like, I'll be honest, I know we're going to lead into the next one. I'm not going to
Mhm.
blow it now, but there's going to be a couple things that I see go down here that we'll talk about it later. But
I'm with you, Jay. Okay.
We're already
I
starting
know.
the same
I
thing.
know. I think I know where you're heading there. Okay.
All right, guys, moving on to our next topic. Who will be the Cinderella team this year in the playoffs?
Psychotic and iconic.
I'll start this one off. I have the Chargers.
ooh, let's go.
I think the Chargers are being overlooked. I think Justin Herbert, I think he's outstanding. He just doesn't really have anything to his name yet. But I feel like, we're going to get to our picks later, but I feel like if he could have a strong outing against the Jaguars, I don't think the Chiefs would want to see him after beating him twice already in division. We had this conversation about beating a
The
division
three-peat.
team 3 times. It's difficult. And in the first game, the Chiefs were outplayed by the Chargers until he got hurt, and then they threw that pick with
That
Everett.
rib
Other way
shot, was
around. Other way around. The Chargers were outplaying the Chiefs.
Chargers were outplaying
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Chiefs.
yeah.
I'm sorry. That's
was
what I
that
meant
the
to
rib
say.
shot? Was that
Yes,
That was the game.
yes, yes,
That was the game with the rib shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I just believe that the Chargers are the team that could get hot and go on a run, very similar to what the Bengals did last year. And that will be a really tough matchup for the Chiefs in round 2.
Okay, I like that because I love the Chargers. I do.
I'm a Herbert fan. I'm a Herbert fan, but he's gotta show me more because he's only
Herbert?
like a game or two. Strawberry Herbert. He's only like a game or two over 500 as a starting quarterback, and you can't have that when you have that amount of talent on your team.
Agreed.
So like you do have to get some wins. Like I get it. Like nobody would take Tua over Herbert. Herbert's obviously better.
Oh yeah.
But if you look at Tua's win-loss record, Tua's never played with studs except for this year. If you really think about it, it's like, I get it. And they're always going to be compared because of the draft. They went back to back. So when you see that, I just look at it. I'm like, all right, like Herbert, you got to do something. And it's not like Tua's had, I mean,
you went back to back.
Thank you.
No, I can't do that. I can't do that.
I'm just going to ignore it. I
Rest
accepted
in
it.
peace to this man's record.
I love you, bro. I love you.
It's okay. I accepted it.
Yo, you threw a little Brady jab in there. I had to give you back.
Yeah,
I'll
but
give
I-
him
Does he get a
respect too.
trophy for a two-timer? Do they do two-time
Oh,
trophies?
trophy. Well, he's got photos.
Yeah. I have photos, videos. I have like the whole neighborhood staring at
Produced
me.
by Just Ant.
Yeah, but you know what?
That was crazy too. by
That
the
was
way.
wild.
Yeah,
bro.
that hurt.
No, I said this to
It's a
Mark.
great
though.
video.
I didn't think anybody would come in last back to back. And
Yeah, me
seeing
neither,
your
Jay.
team, but seeing your teams though, it just never made sense, even last year. But I mean, now that it's proven you can go back to back.
Well,
in a
I mean,
different
look,
way.
we
We
were
gotta
just
have a
saying this
different
last
punishment.
night. I mean, now we're going for
Yeah,
the three.
punishment.
Yeah.
Jay, now we're going for the three-peat.
You
You're
cannot
the Buffalo
go
Bills.
for
Yeah.
the
Well,
three-peat,
I'm telling you
man.
right now, if I turn into a three-peat, I will never play fantasy football again.
You can join my league.
Where
No,
did your
I
team?
can't do that. It'll hurt. I'm going to take a year off. I'm going to study, and I'm going to come back stronger because I got to do something.
I like that.
Where did your team end up in
Did
best
you hear
ball?
the method here? I love that.
I came in first in best ball.
Did you really?
See,
Who?
My team came in first in our best ball.
Yeah, for who?
for the Crown and Safe League, we did a side thing every year.
For your drafted team.
Yes. So the team that you draft, you don't even look at it basically all year. You don't change the line.
I was looking at it. It was the
Well,
only sense of like
I forgot.
a happiness that I
I
had.
completely forgot, and then I
So
saw
if you
Steve's
never
at the
changed
gym.
your lineup, that was the best lineup?
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Well, the best draft. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the best
no
lineup.
no
Yeah.
ads or drops, no trades.
Trades.
Whatever team you drafted, they put the best optimal lineup in every week for you, and then they accumulate the
I've
points.
never played best ball. That's
Oh,
It's actually-
damn.
It's a lot
it's
of
actually
fun.
pretty cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
James said Mike got a dynasty cooking. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Wait, our James?
Our
That's
James.
wild, bro. Oh, that hurts.
Oh,
but
shit.
anyway, who you got, Jay? Who can be the Cinderella team?
Seattle, man.
Seattle.
Seattle Seahawks.
Seattle
The
Seahawks.
Seahawks, man. Listen, I
Go
mean,
ahead.
Span, you definitely just brought up Gino's numbers, man. And I'll be honest,
Really
at first,
good.
I thought they were Joey's. I was like, that's Joey B. It's like, no, that's Gino. It's like, oh shit, really?
Really good.
So here's what I'll kind of lead into with Seattle. They have never been a team, as a football fan, that I wanted to watch the Cowboys play. Ever. I do not like watching the Seahawks play any game that I have any type of interest in. They're completely like roughneck. They beat the fuck out of you. So to me, I'm looking at this game with Brock Purdy. Defense is strong. This kid's just got to play the game. Right? That's all
Yeah.
this kid's got to do is play the game. But guess what? It's the first time he's playing this game.
For real.
First time he's playing. You know what I mean? So I actually got Seattle being the Cinderella team.
Love that.
Football.
So
Football.
So them being the 7th seed, they would have to play San Francisco, and if they win, right, which you think they can, right, they would have to play Philly in Philadelphia. You
Yeah.
think the run stops there, or does it keep going?
So I guess maybe I actually interpreted the question wrong now that like when I was reading it, but I was thinking of it like this week being that
Like the big upset this week, potentially.
yeah, I would say the
Okay.
big upset, but yeah, now that I'm listening to how you just explain it, I would say the Cinderella story would have to be the Chargers. Like reevaluating the actual question and not just thinking about this week. I gotta go with Pauls.
You were smoking on that loud. It's okay.
Oh, right before I got here, it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Already.
Yeah, I got the Chargers too, man. I mean, everything you just said, I mean, they're talented as hell. And that is the one team that could go on the run. They have a really good defense when they want to play. And you're right about that Chiefs game too. They completely outperformed them in that game and they still lost. But I feel like that like they can kind of lean on that game and kind of give them some confidence moving forward. So I do like the Chargers as being the Cinderella team, a la the Bengals last year. I could see that happening. How about you, Span?
I like that. I actually have a different one than everybody right
Nice.
now. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Oh,
So you
shit.
got All right, hear me out.
Go
Sunshine
ahead.
going all the way.
You
Talk
got
that talk.
Sunshine.
head coach Doug Peterson. We know I don't necessarily agree with the style that he does coach in, but the guy's got a set on him, and he's not afraid to leave it all out there on the table. So he'll throw some gadget plays in there and do some things that you wouldn't expect. That's how the Eagles won their Super Bowl with fucking Nick Foles.
We won one.
Yeah, you
We
really
did
did. You really
did
did.
it.
You beat Tom Brady, but then you got ETN. He
Well,
had
he
over
couldn't cheat.
1,000 yards. Yeah,
Yeah.
they locked that up. You got ETN over 1,000 yards. Christian Kirk, our guy.
Yo, we talked about this.
Yeah.
Kurg.
Yeah,
How awesome of a season did he have?
awesome.
He
8
got all
touchdowns.
that money, and
We're
700
everybody was
yards.
I was
clowning
just
them.
gonna say that. He
I was
got
wrong
paid.
about him.
He's not a
was
big
dead wrong
guy.
about
He's
him.
not like a 6'5" Calvin Johnson kind of guy. Like
He boogies, man.
average size, but he's got a motor on him.
Kid
and
can
then
ball.
Trevor Lawrence. I mean, Trevor Lawrence gives me like Caitlyn Jenner vibes, if you know what I'm saying. I don't really know exactly. I actually heard the most insane thing the other day. You guys know Paige Van Zandt, the fighter.
Yeah, I do. I hope my wife's not watching this show.
Is she hot?
She's probably the most attractive fighter that there was. I mean, she ended up getting kicked out of the UFC after a while because she wasn't that good, but she's very attractive.
Nice.
She was like live streaming a Jaguars game and was like, and she's married. She was gushing over Trevor Lawrence, saying that he's like the most beautiful guy she's ever seen. She's like, I hope. I was like,
That's because she ain't seen me yet.
yeah, well, duh, obviously. But I was just like that Trevor Lawrence, all right, because he gives me, like I said, she vibes, but he had a great season too. I didn't think he was going to ball out the way he did this year, and look at them now. They're dangerous. They beat the Cowboys at the end of the season. Didn't see that one coming.
The eyes, Chico. They never lie.
That's Tommy?
Tom,
That Tom's in there.
Shout out Tom. That's my guy.
What's up, Tom? How you
That's
doing?
funny as shit.
Flip's in the building. I see him out there. How you doing, brother?
You want to say his comment? What
Oh,
the Flip say? Flip said,
Flip's got Brady going out like Danger Rick on his last cigarette in Skeeter's parking lot with the game on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Danger Rick
Nick,
speaking on the fantasy playoffs and football playoffs. Yeah, we're going to have ourselves a run here.
"You're a legend, bro."
Nick, did you give us Cinderella team?
Yeah, I said the Chargers.
Oh, so
We should pay
and you had
attention
the
a little bit more.
Jags, Chargers.
I thought everybody was going to go Niners. I feel like that's what the main media narrative. I feel
Brock's
like
out. I'm sorry. Brock's out.
I'm with you. I don't think they're going to do it because like you said, I could see them getting upset this week. Actually,
Yeah, I don't actually think.
their defense is legit for sure.
Facts.
And they have weapons all around. If Debo comes back and you got Kittle and McCaffrey obviously now, so it's like that's a dangerous team. But is this kid going to fold under the bright lights? It's a lot of pressure.
He's won 5 straight.
He has. He's got, and his stats are actually pretty solid too. But at the same time, I don't know.
It's different.
Yeah, if I heard, I think it was on your show yesterday. I think you said if he goes down 10,
Can he do it?
14, is he going to be able to battle back? I don't know.
But the engine never stopped. They still look like the Niners, regardless of who was at quarterback.
They're a scary
It's the
team.
defense. It's
Yeah.
the defense. They're slowing the game down. For anybody that plays them, they're slowing the whole game down. You're almost watching the game like.
I think
saw
Shanahan's
that
a good
coming.
coach too. I think it's fair to say I think he's a pretty good coach.
Shanahan is a good coach. Yeah. The
Just
only
chokes.
the only beef
Chokes,
I,
yeah.
the only beef I've ever had with Shanahan is that I hate that like people will say that Jimmy G sucks and say that it's all Kyle Shanahan. But if you look at Kyle Shanahan's record without Jimmy G, his record sucks. So my question would always be, what both of those things can't be true. What is it? Like
Can't be
Jimmy
true at the same
G.
time, yeah.
Yeah, like both of those things, they don't make sense.
Well, no, I'm gonna piggyback off what you said. You said, yeah, everybody thinks Jimmy G sucks, right? Like, but even though he wins, Brock Purdy wins, and he's like, the best thing since sliced bread.
I said that.
I don't get that.
You have a year.
Yeah.
I'm with that. Like who?
That's not fair.
Who is Brock Purdy? Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna-
a cool story.
I'm gonna
It's
call
dope.
I'm gonna
It's
call it
super
out with the
dope.
Jimmy G
I
hate
love
though.
the story.
Everybody hates on him because everybody's wives and girls wants to fuck.
Yeah, he's a handsome cop.
It is what it is.
Dude,
yeah.
Jimmy G's hot.
He's- I mean, everybody's girl wants him, so it's like everybody's like, "Fuck that guy."
Dude,
But-
my girl wants him.
All right, guys, moving
Oh,
on to our
shit.
last topic before we get to our game picks. Which team is facing the most pressure to win the Super Bowl this year and why?
Psychotic and iconic.
Who wants to start this off?
Cowboys. This
Shit,
is,
I did not expect you to say
Dude,
that.
this is the year. Absolutely. Like being a Cowboys fan, no one's really paying attention from like mine and Span standpoint, but we watched the Romo era, and I hear so many people give me shit for this, but it's like, yo, Romo was probably one of the best quarterbacks to do it. He's putting up
Statistically, the best Cowboys quarterback.
And that's what I'm saying, because no one really sits there and go, oh, Cowboys suck. You guys fucking dumped that game again. It's like, who dumped the game? Did the defense dump the game, or did the quarterback, who kept getting another defensive touchdown let up on him, have to come back again and again and again and again? And, you know, it goes back to what we were talking about. Who we talking about? You got to win in the regular season. It was a little bit earlier in the podcast. I forget what we were talking about. Like, you know, but you can't just go past regular season. You got to do it in the big game.
Yeah.
Cousins.
Yeah, you got to do it in a big game. But it doesn't discredit that Romo wasn't one of the better quarterbacks to play the game. His defense just trashed him. And I'm watching Dak put up 20 plus, getting close to that 30 plus marker. And it's like, you got to be fucking kidding me. The defense lets up another touchdown. It's like you just let someone sprint across the middle. It's like, where is the fucking coverage? So to me, it's like the pressure now with the Cowboys constantly proving that they're there. It's like, yo, are you going to fucking do it or not? You paid this guy $100 fucking million. This is it. Our team's going to start to implode after this year financially. It's going to start to happen. You know, when people are like, oh, well, what's going on? It's like, hey, look, the money runs out. This is still a fucking business. So the Cowboys business, if it don't get handled this year, guess what? I see us taking a huge fucking step back. Unless, it, you know, that 4-12 year that we had, and then next year we pick up fucking Zeke on a, you know, and I was like, oh my God, we're going to get Zeke. It's like, yay. It's like, oh shit, we got him. And then look what happened. Did we use him appropriately? Yeah, we did some dope shit, but guess what? We failed again. Our defense has let us go. Cowboys need to tighten the D. They need to prove that they are actually a team that deserves some recognition.
They need to tighten what?
Yeah, I'll be honest. Right now, that D's looking a little small. Right now. So, they got to pump it up a little bit.
Cialis, okay?
Yeah, they need a little Cialis right there. You know, they got to become the hardest team in the league, and right now they're looking like one of the softest teams to enter the playoffs. So I'd like to see them physically turn this around the way we've watched them play games and really excel. Because if not, I mean, it's going to be another disappointing year. But you know, used to it.
Nick, who you got?
This is going to surprise some people. I got the Minnesota Vikings. Here's why.
Ooh,
Kirk Cousins is 1-3 in the playoffs. His only win was in 2020 in the wild card round against the Saints, right?
And then got cracked by the fucking Eagles.
He's 34 years old. This is the first time he's won the NFC North since he's been with the Vikings. They were 13-4. What is the excuse? This is your year. If you are 13-4, you just want
receiver in football.
Correct. Everything is on Kirk Cousins, because if he doesn't perform in the playoffs, if I'm the Vikings, I'm looking for a quarterback change, because he's going to be 35 next year. And what do you have left?
Who do you replace him with, though?
Well, there's other options. Go get Jimmy G. If you think he's a winner, then go do it.
Tom Brady's probably going to be a free agent.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Aaron Rodgers.
Look, bro, there's a lot of pressure for Kirk Cousins.
Ooh, can you imagine that?
It doesn't seem like that because he's not a big name, but if you look at his career and where it's going, this is like a must-win opportunity for him. I really believe that. And I don't think he's going to do it. I think they're frauds. I think they've been frauds all year. I heard they're an elite team, but I don't believe that. And, you know, I think the pressure is really going to be mounted on the Vikings. I really believe that.
Question.
They're 13-3. I mean, 13-4.
That's all 100%. I agree with you. But have we really been finding the Vikings to be as, you know, like socially relative as the Cowboys? That's where I'm just saying. This is I agree with you 100% because this is Kirk's year. It's like, yo, are you going to do this?
You're saying media driven. Pressure wise.
I mean, look, Dallas, America's team.
I get it.
We're looking like America's dumpster right now.
Yeah.
And we don't know why we're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
America's dumpster.
I get that.
But you see what I'm saying? But from the same pressure aspect, yeah, I think player to player, it's like, yeah, Kirk, you gotta turn it up.
This has got to be the year. Yeah. I mean, look, bro, like if you're the GM of the Vikings, you got to be like, all right, this is it.
Because Sal Madison.
We went 13-4.
Are you sold on he needs to win the Super Bowl or a deep
He needs
run?
to have a decent playoff run where they can feel comfortable that he can lead the team next year. Because when you go 13-4, win division against the Green Bay Packers, which is super rare, this is a slam dunk for you. This is your opportunity. You don't get these many windows. And now that he's going to be 35 next year, like I feel like a lot of pressure is on him, especially like, you know, the GM looking down on him. I feel like he might feel that pressure, and that's fair.
So is this a high scoring game or not? Is this Kurt actually like slinging the ball against the Giants, or is
we're going to get to that?
We're going to get to that next.
Let's go.
We're going to get to that. But for me, it's the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
If Josh Allen is the second best quarterback in football and he can rival Mahomes to take that title, you have to get to a Super Bowl and win it.
Yes.
Anything short of the Bills winning the Super Bowl this year is a loss of a season. In my opinion, because of the way Josh Allen is perceived and portrayed through the media and through most of the people that talk and know things about about football and sports. And for me, I've said this, over and over. I believe that Joe Burrow is better than him, and Joe Burrow is never in the conversation of the second best quarterback.
You think so?
What?
You like Burrow over Allen?
I think Burrow's better.
He looks better.
I think,
Stud.
he's a stud. He can dress better. No, but I think Joe Burrow, I think he's calmer. I think he makes better decisions. I think he's more accurate. And I just like the way Joe Burrow plays. Like, I think Joe Burrow is the next big thing with Patrick Mahomes. And my issue with Josh Allen is, like I said, is everything that we talk about with Josh Allen, he doesn't really have anything to back it up. He's never been to a Super Bowl. He's never won an MVP. So for me, it's the Bills have to win the Super Bowl this year, or at least make it there to get any type of validation. Otherwise, to me, it's a lost season.
I like that. Now, to go with your Allen thing, if you could do like a fantasy version of like the Eagles, if you could build a franchise and you could just have the number one pick for a quarterback, who would you take?
Between who?
Anybody. You say you just like they do a crazy thing, like a hypothetical. Where
I would take Patrick Mahomes, and then second, I would take Joe Burrow.
You mean like just like a fantasy pick? Like if you could just pick your quarterback?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To start a team. I think my two would be Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow.
Go Patty and Hurts, but yeah, Patty's still number one.
Yeah, you go Hurts. That
Hurts,
high?
really?
Wow.
Damn. Yeah, he's done.
No, not for fantasy. Like
no, yeah.
No, like building an NFL team.
Right.
Yeah.
Like say.
Oh shit. All right, cool.
Yeah.
He showed it. Like he showed it this year. Like, look, what did they say about this guy all year? Oh, this fucking guy. So I've heard so many people inside the shop this year. Oh, the fucker, blah, blah, blah. And then, week 6, like,
he's doing all right. Yeah.
Now, week 12, it's like, dude, second coming, this guy's doing it. It's like, nah, the guy actually has the team built. The culture is working for him. And you see what someone on a full tank of gas.
They were also very smart. Like, when teams, especially in your division, make trades or signings, and then you're like, oh, yes, thank God. That's such a dumb fucking move. Like, they're going to be eating that contract for years. When they traded for Brown, I was like, shit, that was a really good, because he's a top 5 receiver.
Won me a championship.
AJ Brown. That was a great.
Oh, yeah, I know. And it's funny. Before the season started, I ranked him outside the top 10.
Really?
I did. I think I had him at 11 or 12.
Don't you remember last year, though? He carried Mark to the championship.
But he is, he showed a lot, man. He's
a beast.
He's excellent. Yeah.
He's everything you would want in a receiver.
Yeah. Did you say your team?
I'm going to actually, of course, second with Jay. But the reason behind it is to go with what you were saying with the windows. This is Dak. He's been in the league since 16, him and Zeke.
Wow, really? It has been that long.
How many more years are they going to be together? And they've had a lot of success.
1.
That's probably
next year.
Then
after next year,
Jay,
they can get out of Zeke.
Right. To touch on what Jay was saying, a lot of contract we're going to have to pay Parsons soon. CeeDee Lamb, Diggs, Pollard, Schultz. We finally have a defense. The best thing Jerry Jones has done in the last, 5 to 10 years was get our defensive coordinator. What the hell is his name? Why am I drawing a blank right now? Dan Quinn. That was the best move he's done, because we, like you were saying with all those Romo years, we had no defense. It was DeMarcus Ware versus everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And if he didn't get the sack, you were getting a big play, and that was it. And now we have a defense that actually can at least contain teams. And you have Parsons, who's kind of like Ware in that aspect. So it's like,
and we're still uneasy. No matter what, we're still.
Oh yeah, well, our division stacked. I mean, it is the best division of football this year.
Facts.
But in general, though, aren't we like consistently looking at it like, oh my God, like in the beginning of the year, nobody wanted to play Dallas. Now it's like, they're probably just flaking off as they
but look at this. 5 Super Bowl, all the annoying Cowboys fans are like, 5 Super Bowl rings. Cool. 1972, 1978, 1993, 94, 96. Dog, it's 2023. That's fucking crazy to have a pedigree of a team like that that's pretty much dominated in decades. You know what I mean? To go into the 2000s, nothing. The 2010s, nothing. It's 2023.
And you haven't even made a championship game.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And here's the thing. Last year, I actually thought was Dallas's chance.
They had a couple runs.
We had the 49ers.
I agree with that.
They could have beat the 49ers. They should have beat the 49ers last year. That's a tough loss. And then drawing, you have the season you just had and you draw the Bucs. Now, I know the Bucs haven't been anything spectacular, but again, I don't really think anybody feels comfortable. Like, you guys are Cowboys fans. Do you feel comfortable playing against Brady? Like we've seen it for 20 years. The ball bounces Brady's way.
No,
When-
being a Cowboys fan in 2023, you're not comfortable playing anybody. We could play.
Yeah,
we could be playing the worst team, the
Like Washington
Seahawks or
Township.
what. Yeah, it's exactly. It doesn't matter. You always got to be nervous about it because they don't come to play in the playoffs. It seems like.
Are you worried with last week's performance? Like, does that type of game, is that the type of shit that scares you
See,
before a playoff
I
game?
go back and forth because, of course, you don't want to go into. In my opinion, you don't want to go into the playoffs looking like that. But
We talked about this today.
yeah, I will say this: they did say well before the game that the Giants were going to play third string guys, second string guys. And then the Eagles were going to play hurt, so they knew the Eagles were going to win that game. You know what I mean? And then on top of that,
The money line was minus 1,100.
Right.
That's crazy.
And then on
Yeah,
top of
come
that,
on.
Washington. I know Eagles fans hate Dallas, but the way Eagles fans hate Dallas, Washington and Dallas have that rivalry.
Correct. Yes.
So for the Redskins or whatever you want to call them, Commanders, the football team, whatever,
Yeah.
they wanted that win to end their season to be like, okay, we got our rivals. Now we can build on this into next year. So that's what they did. They showed up. Their defense played great. Dak did not look good. The running game was non-existent. The defense did not look that great either. The special teams was a joke. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
I'll tell you another thing too. When the media gets on a certain guy, like our punt returner, kick returner, Turpin,
Turpin, yeah.
why is he an All-Pro? Why? What did you? I've watched multiple.
Who voted him in?
I've watched multiple blunders. I don't think he has a return this year. I think he had one good preseason game,
He had one return.
but they love him. Like Jerry Jones is calling him and saying "Great job, kid." You're like, what the fuck did you do? And then last week it hits him in the face.
I banged his.
You're like, bro, you suck. Why is he an All-Pro kick returner? But
Yeah.
whatever. I guess that's the
I know.
Cowboys rub, right?
That's just how it goes. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Parsons doesn't get All-Pro, but that dude.
I
does.
know
Okay.
that's a
That
snub
makes
and a half.
sense.
That's a
I
snub
mean,
and
the
a half.
Cowboys, it's definitely a slam dunk for them to be the most pressured. I get that, but I feel like I chose a different route.
I like it.
based
I
on-
like it because you are
Your
correct.
theory is dead. Is
The
still
media-
dead on.
The media driven is definitely the biggest factor in pressure, man. I mean, we live in a social media era. It's all over the TVs. It's all over your phones. Everybody's looking at it. Cowboys this, Cowboys that. All the pressure on them. So I get that angle. I see where you guys are coming from. So I totally agree with you guys too on that.
All right, guys, moving on. We're now going to pick our wild card weekend and against the spread, and then we will give our championship predictions, and we're going to get out of here.
Let's go.
Psychotic and iconic.
First game, Seahawks at the 49ers. 49ers minus 10. I'll start it off. Upset. Seahawks beat the 49ers.
Yeah, let's go. Let's
Listen.
go.
Sound the alarm!
Let's go. Let's go.
Sound the fucking alarm!
Listen, there isn't going to be somebody in the world outside of me that is going to say the Seahawks can win. They've been doing psychological warfare. Pete Carroll's gassing them up every opportunity that he gets. They played them close, and they played a few weeks ago. Brock Purdy's first game. I know it's Geno Smith, but he is a journeyman. He's been in the league. Pete Carroll's a defensive-minded head coach. I think he's going to blitz the shit out of Brock Purdy and force him to beat them with his arm.
Go. I like that.
And I think they're going to sell out to stop Christian McCaffrey. And I just think that this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. And when people don't give you a chance, that's when you have to be scared. And this game, I'm telling you, is scary.
Yes.
I'm taking the Seahawks in an upset.
Wow.
You going money line? You're gonna take
Wow.
the spread.
I'm shocked.
I don't like it enough to bet it like that, but I would throw that into a small parlay and take the odds because the money line for that's going to be enormous.
Yeah.
That's probably an $800 money line.
No, actually, I was looking at it a little earlier. I've already got my plays for the week that I've already.
Speak
I've-
on it, King.
I'm already invested in, but yeah, I'm not ballsy enough to lay the whole nut on the Seahawks money line, but I am
The 10.
I am going to take the 10.
10's nice.
I'll take the 10 because going back to what Paul's just said, I'm going to sit here and look at it as they're going to play this game way tighter. Brock Purdy ain't gunslinging this ball. He's just going to do what he's supposed to do. The Seahawks play it tight. I see this game going under, and I see if it's going under, I'm going right to the Seahawks. They're going to keep it tight. Are we going to the next one? Because that's where I'm sitting with that. I like the Seahawks and the under. Maybe a little.
You have the Seahawks on the spread and the Niners on the money line.
Well, like I said earlier, that whole upset thing, like we were
Yeah.
talking about earlier, I thought it was a Cinderella thing. Like I if there's going to be an upset this week, I don't think it would be an upset if the Giants beat the Vikings. Like they could do it. Like the way the Vikings play their game.
I agree. Yeah.
Like the Giants could fucking win that game. The Seahawks, though, it's like you said, Paul. Nobody's counting the Seahawks to beat these guys. So even if they're not counted on to beat them, I at least got them to cover.
Mhm.
The NFL, I got my own
Theories.
of this
Yeah.
crap, but
It's
at the
theories,
end of the
baby.
at the end of the day, it's like, give me Seahawks 10, and if I'm gonna play around a little razzle dazzle, I got the under on it too.
Love that.
Love that. I have the 49ers money line. I don't have enough balls to take Seattle money on the money line.
I don't either.
I think they're going to keep it close though. I totally agree with you guys. 10 points is a lot for a division game. And
Divisional.
it's division game, fam.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I think it was 21-13 3 or 4 weeks ago. when they
familiarity.
played.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
That's an 8-pointer.
At 8 points.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
8 points right there.
Yeah, two teams that are really familiar with each other. I really like the Seahawks here. In terms of the points, so give me the points with the Seahawks, but I'll take the Niners money line. They're too talented, bro. And here's the thing: if the Niners lose, what do they do to head coach? Do you still stick with Shanahan? Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean,
Because bro,
he's
he's
gonna-
choked a lot.
He's going to
never
get a
won
pass with
He's never won a bowl, bro. When you got a roster like this and you lose in the wild card, you got to be looking at your coach a little funny,
but he's been the
Purdy's
two
a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Purdy
two
is the
NFC
scapegoat.
championships.
Oh,
Which
that's
is
right.
bullshit.
Yeah.
which is bullshit because he won 5 games in a row to get him in that spot
They're
as
going
the
to
number
say
2 seed.
they're going to
get
say the
that.
clock
But Nick,
struck midnight
a-
on Cinderella, and that's it.
A
But look
Super
at the
Bowl,
Raiders game. They almost blew the Raiders
a
game.
Super Bowl appearance, 2 NFC championship games, and they're on their 3rd string quarterback this year.
But you hire coaches that can win the Super Bowl. Can he win it? He can get there.
I think
but
he can win one. Yeah, I think he can.
He
I
could
think-
beat the Seahawks. He very well could. But then if he beats the Seahawks, then it's between the Vikings and the Giants and who?
Cowboys, Bucks.
Cowboy. No, because if 49ers win, Eagles automatically play Dallas if they beat the Bucks.
Giants could.
It
play the
depends.
Eagles.
Yes, the Giants
Swept
could
the
be.
Seahawks too.
The Giants could play the Eagles.
Oh wait, did you hear that? Pause. Put that up.
Yeah, the Niners swept the Seahawks too. And
What's
it goes
that
back
mean?
to
That three-peat. That's
it's hard, dude. You're playing a division opponent 3 times in one season and beating them all 3 times. It's hard, dude.
Did they?
It's hard.
because it was 8 points on the one. What was the other one?
I don't know off the top of my head, to be
Yeah.
honest.
I'll say, just to throw another stat in there, I do think Seattle covers. I don't have the balls to pick them outright either, but I do think they cover the 10. But San Fran won 10 in a row. They're about due for a loss. I'm a
Laws
big,
of
I'm a big, big they're
We're the
due
same
kind
way.
of guy. Yeah.
So much.
10 wins in a row is a lot. And then, to continue that against a division opponent, Geno Smith's been balling out, DK Metcalf's
Lucky
always a
Lockett.
threat. Lucky Lockett could hit you, wouldn't be the craziest. I think the media would portray it that way, that it would be the craziest win, because I think a lot of people are on the Niners in the NFC. But I think Seattle could at least surprise some people.
I got to check my website. I'll let you know exactly who's winning this game 20 minutes before it goes off.
All right, guys. Next up, Chargers -1.5 at the Jaguars. My favorite pick of the week, a slam dunk money line, Chargers.
Wow. Let's go.
Jaguars smoked them in their first game together. They're coming off an emotional win and a dogfight against the Titans. They have they have the advantage at coach. I don't think they have the advantage yet at quarterback. But
Really?
I will say, yeah, not yet. But the only thing that worries me in this game that I think is in the Jags' favor is Doug Peterson, because I think he's a top 5 coach. But this is my favorite play of the weekend, and I love the Chargers money line here. Love them. And I'm taking them -1.5. I think they get revenge for what happened. And I think Justin Herbert, like I said, I think they're my Cinderella team.
Is a field goal revenge? Is 3 points revenge or no?
Yeah, just a win.
Just
All
a
you
win
got to
is
do is win.
revenge.
A win. Yeah.
All you got to do is win.
You're not anticipating just like a straight smack in here, like they're coming back to take revenge.
I
You know
think
what
it's gonna
I'm
be
saying?
I think this is going to be one of the highest scoring games, if not the highest scoring game of the weekend.
I could see it. I could
Yeah.
see it. A lot of talent.
They both give up points.
A lot of
Yeah,
weapons.
They both give up points. I think they both can score. I think the Chargers are going to come out ready. I think the Jaguars are going to be prepared under Doug.
If Bosa's back though, because I wasn't aware that Bosa was back. You got Bosa. Wait, not JC Jackson. Is he still out? Is JC Jackson still out? I forget.
I think he's playing.
All right. Well, then if you got JC Jackson, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, and you got the full line of that defense ready to roll, and they're playing.
Is
hot.
Derwin James playing, or is he still suspended from his hit?
He's
I'm-
playing. I
playing.
think he's playing, which would be fair. Like
Yeah.
you can't suspend a guy for a playoff game. That's just not right.
I gotta tell you, I love that though. I know it's fucked up with the head stuff now and everything, but I miss that element. Of
I'm with you. It's football. I mean,
is.
you know how hard it is
what
to
is it?
stop.
Football.
You know how hard it is to stop a grown man in pads,
Oh,
300
yeah.
pounds going full speed at you, dude. They're professional athletes.
He's
bro.
got that throwback, that Dawkins, Pamamalu era, Bob Sanders, like they'll hit the shit out of you and make you feel it.
Yeah. So I got the Chargers. I got the Chargers money line. Like you alluded to, they got smoked earlier in the year, like we talked about earlier. I think revenge is on their mind when they think about them. I really believe that. I think Herbert is going to go to he's going to get his first W here, and the Cinderella begins.
Okay.
I really believe that. I think this team is really loaded, and I don't see them losing to the Jags here.
His turn.
I think the Jags are a cool story. They got to the playoffs. This is kind of like their step in the right direction, but I think it ends here on Saturday.
I'm the only one then. I'm going Jacksonville to cover and money line.
Oh yeah,
I like them.
That's a Cinderella zone.
I do. That was my Cinderella.
I got the Jags with you.
I just like what they're doing right now.
You have the Jags winning.
I got the Jags 1.5. I could literally see it being like a 1-point game, but I'm gonna take the spread just because if I'm talking putting money on it,
Yep.
I'm the conservative guy. If I like it one way, give me a little bit more. Just tickle my pickle.
I think it'll definitely be a great game. You know what I mean? I don't see it being a blowout either way. I think.
No, I know. I think it's gonna be.
yeah, I think so.
I just like what Jacksonville's doing right now. Like you said, Dougie P.
They're at home. Like
They are.
realistically, they are at home.
But-
they're rested up. They're ready to roll. Like I think the Jags actually have a shot to say, "No, we are this team. Like we are." That's where I'm at.
The over under is 47.5. I got the overs.
Sometimes I'll be honest, I've gotten smoked trying to predict the score.
Yeah.
I like the gameplay. I love gameplay. I'll always bet on gameplay. There's been so many times where I'm like, oh dude, they're gonna fucking shoot this one to the fucking moon, and I'm watching the dog for like, yo, how is this 7-3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck is going on?
I know.
Remember that Super Bowl with the Rams and the
Rams and the Patriots. Yeah.
That was the
Dude,
worst Super Bowl.
that was-
I think
that
I've
should have
seen.
been one of
As
the
a Brady
best
fan,
Super
that was the
Bowls.
worst one.
Yeah.
Should have been one of the best. And then that turned into like,
Yeah, it was a snooze.
A snooze fest. Yep. I totally agree.
yeah, I left the party at halftime. I'm like, I'm out.
I'm good.
I took the under.
You were too
anyway,
fried
so-
anyway.
Well, hell, Rick out. I think I left the room after that.
All right, next one. Dolphins at Bills. I got the Bills both ways. I mean, Skylar Thompson, it's an unfair advantage. It's Mike McDaniel's first playoff game. Sean McDermott.
I'm going with you on that too.
Sean
100%.
McDermott, and them boys been there.
I'm gonna be quick. I got Bills both ways. No Tua, Tyreek Skimpy, and Bills have something to play for in DeMar Hamlin.
Been sipping on some shit.
Can't pronounce.
I'm halfway
Tua.
with you guys. I got Miami money line.
Whoa!
I'm sorry.
Spread.
No.
I was like, you are,
Yo, ring the alarm, man.
you are not with it.
I was gonna say I'm not hitting that answer with you.
No, I'm not. Yeah. I got the Bills money line. Not even to say it in like an ignorant way, but I think this is the storyline for the NFL. I think the Bills outright make it to the Super Bowl. Don't care what happens, how it rolls. I could just picture it now. Look, NFL is an entertainment company. This kid, after what he just went through, can you picture the Bills winning the Super Bowl? Him holding that fucking trophy, the world would go fucking bananas.
It would heal us.
Yeah, it's one of those things that brings everybody together. I could just say that
You already saw the Oscar
advantage.
writers with the the kick
Yeah,
return.
that's actually a really good theory.
And if you ever watch the odds, I mean, you guys play around with the with the apps and shit.
Yeah.
Like, you watch those odds. It's like if you watched it right after like they put out the release for DeMar, those odds dropped at least 200 points. Like I got a futures bet in for the Bills. It was like plus 400. Now it's at plus 2.
Oh, wow.
Like you just start seeing it now. Ready? Look at the first game. It's like, oh, now obviously how it's played out. Tua got beat to shit. Tyreek Skimpy. It's like, okay, round 1, not a walkthrough, because this is where I'm going back with the Miami spread. Miami's defense it's stingy. They're extremely stingy. They're not going to let the NFL completely go, oh, dude, Bills are going to fucking smoke these clowns. They have nobody on the team. Good. Their defense is still playing 100% to even try. So I got Bills walking it straight through with the money line, but I do have the Dolphins on the spread. I've hit a lot of bets this year, literally just covering the dog and the money line. And if you're finding those real tight games, it's paid off.
You fade the public a little bit
I do a little bit
to a
of both.
degree. Yeah.
Yeah.
You fade the public and your homies.
Literally.
Yeah, you want to hit this?
All right. Next up, Giants at Vikings. I got the Vikings both ways. I don't understand why the entire world is picking the Giants because they played a close game when they played. I already know who Theories is picking. It's unbelievable to me that the Vikings can't get any respect. A team that is 11-0 in one-score games. I don't understand how 4 games where they played poorly because their floor is low. 4 games outweighs 11 good games. I don't understand that.
Absolutely.
If somebody can, make that make sense to me, like I'm 3 years old, that would be great. But the Vikings are going to destroy them because the Vikings can put up points and the Giants have a lot of injuries. The Giants can't score points.
I'm with you on that 100%. I got the Vikings.
It's the
money
Vikings.
line and -3.
Yeah, it's the Vikings
I'd even
both
take
ways.
-5.
Yeah.
I would take up to the touchdown.
Yeah,
I think they got that absolutely.
I'm the same way.
See, I'm going the opposite with what you said. It's an entertainment industry. Vegas has them at 3. I think this game's going to be a very close game. I take the Giants with the points, but I think Minnesota.
Well, here's the thing. I am rooting for the Giants because
very
for the Eagles, it would be great to have a second round bye. I mean, they were
Yeah.
1-5-1 in the NFC East, and they're talking about the Giants like there's somebody. I know they had a good story because they weren't supposed to be shit, but again, I would love a second round bye.
This is cupcake fucking game for Kirk Cousins and the Vikings.
Oh,
It
here
should
we
be.
go.
It should be.
I
It
mean,
should
bro.
be. It
I mean,
should be.
honestly, dude. Like, I want to see these boys play a big badass team and get their ass beat. Like, that's exactly what I
Like
I
that happened all year to them.
Yeah, exactly right. Every time they play a good team, they get their ass whacked, and I wanted to see that, and that's what I predicted in the first round. So I wanted to see that. Oh, go ahead. Start your shit.
Oh, she's getting a
What?
call.
Wait, you
I
gonna
got a
take?
phone call. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll ask him. Are the Bills a good team?
I think so,
Okay, who won that game?
dude. It was so fucking lucky. Bro.
I
I know, bro. He
I
fucking
know.
fumbled at the half-yard line, and that's how they won.
Hold on.
Come on,
Vegas.
Get the fuck out of
Okay,
here.
all right. Yeah, it's time to move on.
Vegas is a real.
That's
thing.
insane, bro. Give me the fucking Giants. I hate the Vikings.
Wow.
Give me the fucking
You
Giants, bro.
I love
I'm
it.
dead
I
ass
love
serious.
it.
I hate the Vikings, bro. They play sloppy against good teams. The
Were
Giants.
you just saying they were the fucking Cinderella story? In
No,
here?
he said they have the most
No,
pressure.
The most
yeah,
pressure,
yeah.
and the pressure's going to get to them, and it will.
You think they're,
Yeah.
you're
Jay,
breaking them up.
Jay,
They're breaking-
Uncle Jay, I've seen this movie all year. 17 weeks we've been doing this. All 17 weeks he was against the Vikings. It's going to be 18 weeks. He's going to be wrong again. I'm
They
just gonna
are
sit up here.
fraudulent, bro. When the Giants play tough,
I mean, I called it. I called
regardless
the
of what
Vikings
you think
frauds.
about them, the Giants do play. They do. They'll hang.
They're an
in there.
annoying team.
I like their coach Ryan Dable. I think he's a really good coach. I think he's going to keep them in the game. I think the disrespect is there for them. I like the Giants here to win. I think the Vikings play very sloppy. I really do.
I agree with the sloppy play.
When a team really gives it to the Vikings, they tend to play sloppy. I like the Giants here. I do. I don't care.
That's a
I
sexy
fucking
play.
hate the Vikings. I think they are the biggest fraud 13-4 team I've ever seen in my life.
Well, you've been to Skeeters, right? You ever see their menu?
I've been there in years, bro.
You know the sexy pig? It's like, oh, I like that. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, the G-men.
Oh my God. I should have known. All right. Next up, Ravens at Bengals. Bengals -7. I got the Bengals both ways. It's an unfair advantage for the Ravens, man. I mean, look, it's a division game and it's tough. No, they split. But I just you might not even have Tyler Huntley. I mean, what are you supposed to do here? I'm taking the Bengals both ways.
I think round 2 is going to look really interesting for the AFC. Like I said, there's a lot of things that I think are just going to fall into play so that these real heavy hitters really give a show. So 100%, I don't think anybody argues. And if there is an upset of the week, which I don't see it happening at all, I think the safe pick, though, Bengals money line. You know, I mean, after what we're looking at here, I mean, the parlay here that I'm saying right now, Bills money line, Bengals money line. And I'm even going to go and throw in the Seahawks +10. And that's just my 3 pick. And I got one more, you know, that's going to add to it. But I got my 4 piece. I'm not touching the Vikings game. I just, because you know what? I could go both
It's free
ways.
money.
Nah, I'll be honest, it's not. And you know, I've had so many games where I'm like, this is fucking going down. Like, dude, I laid heavy on Georgia the other night. That was easy. That was fucking easy.
Yeah.
Like, that was free money. But you know, you go back game before TCU Michigan, everybody's like, oh, dude, Michigan's rolling house. It's like, you know, TCU throw 51. It's like, where the fuck did that come from? Where did that come from? So I'm not touching the Vikings and the Giants. I'm staying out, but I still have the Vikings. Yeah, I still got the Vikings on that one. But Bengals, yeah, Bengals.
I'm a lone wolf. I like that.
Monday night, Cowboys -2.5 at the Buccaneers. This game scares me because I feel
Cowboys money
like
line. That's it.
the whole
Okay.
world, because of the way Dallas stumbled into the playoffs in that last game, I feel like the public is overwhelmingly going to be betting the Buccaneers. And I think that's a scary thing because you can't overlook the Cowboys. But I'm going to take the Bucs
Okay.
because until I see otherwise with Tom Brady, like I can't get past it.
Hey, yo, Philly, can you turn his mic up?
But I will say, be careful. This is a be careful game for me, but I'm going with the Bucs. I won't be upset if it's the Cowboys because I would love to play them in round 2 because I feel like that would be awesome.
You smelling a trap? Yeah, I'm smelling a trap.
I'm serious. This is a trap. This is a trap for
Brady's
for
hot.
everyone betting the Buccaneers. But like I said, I'm still going with the Bucs in that. The Cowboys are wearing me because
Respectable.
here's the thing. I like Dak, and I think Dak's a good quarterback. The problem right now is Dak is normally good with the ball. He's been just making careless turnovers where you're looking at him. I mean, he almost had back-to-back pick sixes
Throwing ducks, man.
against the
Whack,
Commanders.
whack.
I don't even understand what's going on. Like they're taking him to the house. They're bouncing off guys' hands.
It's a mixture of a
hold
few
on.
things.
That's a big thing you kind of brought up though. Like, yeah, Dak has not looked hot. Missed 5 games, still ain't looking hot. But looking at it, I think I was looking at it the other day. 5 of those interceptions were tipped balls.
Yes.
Like 5 of those. Even the Jags game where the Jags beat the
Was off
Cowboys
Noah
in overtime.
Brown's hands.
Yo,
That
in
guy-
this man's chest.
He gets
I agree with that.
In
Ass.
his chest.
I agree with that.
there's like an irrational confidence in Noah Brown that
I don't
can't
get it either. They
understand.
must have been like boys or something in training.
Yeah,
camp, stuff like
something's
that.
up with that because he's getting way too many targets.
Ass. He gets way too many targets and doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
with
but
it.
look, if you watch it though, like they're literally hitting the zone and man on Lamb. Like they're doing that every game. Like when you take Amari Cooper out of the mix, guess what? Where's that dominant receiver that you really got to pay attention to? Like Lamb's great. Like I love Lamb. I can have some lamb right now too.
Me too. I love lamb chops. The medallion chops.
Little
Ooh.
lamb and jelly. I don't know if anybody else is on that move.
Lamb and jelly.
I never had that.
Dude,
That's
Tell me you
wild.
That's
smoke
a
weed
wild
without telling me you
combo.
don't smoke weed.
That's a different way.
Listen, raspberry reserves and lamb. Yo, sign that. Trust
That's the episode name. Lamb and
Lamb
jelly.
and jelly is the episode name, no doubt about it.
That is insane. I've never heard a combo like
Me
that.
either. That's different.
Hey, try it, man. I think you'll love it. I think it's real good shit.
Span, go
There
ahead.
you go.
Go ahead.
I'm saying to second what Mike said. I think everybody's on Tampa right now. It's the storyline. You know, you got all your talking heads on all the major networks just ragging the Cowboys, talking trash, talking about how Tom's been on the up and coming. He's Tom, playoff Tom. I think Dallas covers and money line. I'm taking the -2.5. Dallas does well historically when people count them out. When people dick ride Dallas,
Raj, we're friends, right?
yes,
We're both Cowboys fans, right?
yeah,
Okay. Just
yeah,
checking.
yeah.
Just
When
checking.
Dallas, listen, when everybody's on Dallas, what do?
We do tend to
I mean,
check.
in this decade, you know,
We do tend to
in the
check.
2000s, nothing. They don't do shit. Now everybody's
Ooh,
off,
yo,
and
Baylor just hit.
A
Let's go.
live dub right there.
Live dub, let's
and
go.
again, to go with the Vegas and the storylines and the entertainment, the storylines wrote itself. The NFL wants Dallas, Philly, round 3, quarterback. You know, Philly didn't have theirs last time. Dak wasn't there for the first time. Who's the real top dog of the NFC East?
That's it.
I just think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I got a different twist with you guys. In. I'm taking Tampa here,
Twist it.
obviously, right?
Do you want to twist my left elbow or my right?
all the pressure is on Dallas. Everything is on Dallas. And I know people are picking Tampa, but they're picking based on the mystique factor of Brady, which is it's not a bad pick. But after an 8-9 record, they have no pressure. They're not supposed to be there. They had that in their mindsets. They're playing with house money, in my opinion. Brady
Disagree.
already won his
Disagree.
Brady already won his Super Bowl in Tampa.
Yeah.
If he doesn't win it again, it doesn't matter. He's still a legend in Tampa. Regardless, he's not going to get backlash if he doesn't win. He's already won his Super Bowl. He did his job. All the pressure is on the Cowboys. That's why it's a Dallas line. Don't get me wrong. This game scares me because it's a Cowboys line. Let's be real.
2.5.
2.5
Smells
on the
fishy.
road. Yeah, coming off a bad game. The Bucks just, Brady just had an amazing performance, 400 and something yards a couple weeks ago. Everybody has that in their mind. So this is a Dallas line.
The tail of the tape is definitely.
I just can't bet against 12. I'm never going to bet against
To go
12,
with
bro.
that storyline of he's due. He's 7-0 against the Cowboys. He's due for a loss against Dallas.
Yes,
I think he needs to.
That's true too. But also another storyline is, you know who the last team Brady lost to in the Super Bowl?
Eagles.
Correct. I can see that happening again. Bucks and Eagles next round. That's a storyline.
Him losing to the Eagles.
Well, they
again.
played last year too.
Yeah, that's his last Super Bowl loss, and it could be his last loss with the Bucks. That's a storyline.
Yeah, we'll bust them wide open.
Possibility.
Any story with Brady is a storyline. It doesn't matter.
That's why I hate. That's why I hate the whole. We were talking about this in shop today. It's like, how many times are we going to sit here watching a game, calling the picks, calling the lines, and it's like, how the fuck did he do that again? How did he come back again? And it's like this. It's like he fucking did it. I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas is winning this game by, let's just say 14 by the end of the half. I'm cashing out my parlay.
You're not taking any chances.
I'm cashing it the fuck out if I'm up. Because you know what? I've seen it happen too many times. And Dallas is known for giving it up. And not the offensive side. People are going to talk shit about that. Dallas's offense has never disappointed. Has it disappointed in the last 2 minutes of the game? It's like, well, yeah, you dump the pressure of the world on a quarterback who just put up 30 points. And it's like, dude, 7 more? Come on.
In fairness, though, we're talking about Brady's pedigree and history of all those great New England teams he was on and that great Tampa team he was on. This Tampa team is not great. We've seen a lot of bad play.
I'm still scared shitless that team.
I'm
Mike Evans.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Of course, they're still a good team,
blows.
but they're not playing,
True.
Historically great football. Like some of those Brady runs, you can't say shit about.
Dude, Bowles was talking mad shit too in the interview. Did you see that? He's like, I think some of us are still stuck in the Super Bowl era. We got to get past that. It's like, there's only certain people you talking shit about. It's a pretty limited.
Yeah, pretty limited
out there right
guy,
now.
yeah.
But he's just sitting there like, oh yeah, well, this is what we got to
The
do.
key to this game is going to be third down, because when I watch the Bucks all year, it's like 31, 2nd and 1s. Like they can't convert on third downs. And if they don't convert on third downs and Dallas can take advantage of that, Dallas is going to win this.
Their O-line's still pretty banged up, right?
Yes.
Look,
Right.
it's
Yeah,
Lenny,
So they're
man.
still pretty banged up.
Their center-
Parsons is pretty pissed off. He didn't get the All-Pro, and they looked like shit. I think he wants to have at least a sack or two against Tom Brady.
He
to
did.
put that.
He
I'm
did
saying
week one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm
on his
saying
resume.
in this for the playoffs, like, hey, we're taking Dallas on a run here. I got to get to Tom Brady at least once.
And this will be a
That
different
line,
game than
that
week
line.
one. The 19-3 win with the Bucks beating the Cowboys.
First
It's a
game.
different game. Yeah. Like that game.
I
you
think
could
this
throw
game will
out.
be more like the first one 2 years ago, where it's kind of at least
seesaw.
competitive.
Wasn't that like a 30-37 to 40
It was a very
game?
good game. I don't know if it'll be that high scoring and that
It came down
dynamic,
to a field
but
goal, correct?
Yes, at the very end, the controversial penalty that the Bucks got, and then they kicked the field goal.
The ball bounces his way, right?
Yeah,
The ball
Always.
bounces his way for 20 years.
every
I've read it.
every time.
It's
If he
amazing.
doesn't convert on 4th and 35, bro, they somehow get a 40-yard penalty.
Yeah,
It never
or a
fails,
fucking
dude.
like
somebody
offensive
just look
lineman
at-
will do something crazy.
Somebody has nothing to do with the play on the complete opposite end of the field. They have a holding.
You sipping that haterade, bro. You know how hard it is for the ball to bounce your way 20 years in a row. That's
Do you
fucking
remember-
difficult,
Well,
bro.
yeah,
Do you
because I've only
remember
watched
the
it with him.
one? Oh my god, there's so
Dude,
many
they threw a
times.
flag on Tom Brady's wife. They're gonna give him something.
Yeah.
Something.
I've watched Brady throw interceptions, and then the guy goes to return it, fumbles, and then the team gets it back, and that's a first down. I've
20
seen
yards up the field.
I've seen kick returns. I've seen fucked up kick returns where an offensive lineman picks up a ball and goes like 40 yards. An offensive lineman.
I remember that.
Yes.
That was in New England.
The shit that Brady gets, and I mean, he can't knock it. Like
That's not
it
his
is.
fault.
It's not his fault, but
No,
at the
it's
same
just
time,
funny because
it
like,
is. Yeah,
it
at the
only
same
happens
time,
to him.
some of the shit that happens for him is like it never would happen for anyone else. It's just impossible. You're like an offensive lineman going 40 yards on a kick return.
But does it seem like that? Because do you think?
Hey,
like-
he does have a crazy amount of time in the league too. So I mean, he obviously has a lot
But-
of games to play too.
Yeah, like I feel like it seems like that because he just wins.
Right.
Like
That
so,
too.
like you're gonna nitpick at
course,
every single
of course.
play that you saw
For
that
sure.
went his way. But there's a lot of stuff that didn't go his way. The fucking undefeated season with the helmet catch with David Tyree,
Yeah.
Mario Manningham with that beautiful throw from Eli. That I mean, there's a couple things. And the Eagles, the Super Bowl with the Eagles, the man threw. If you would have told an Eagles fan Tom Brady's going to throw for 500 yards and they're not going to punt, you're going to be like, "Whoa, we're going to get our ass kicked."
Crushed, yeah.
Yeah.
The Eagles won that game by 8.
Well, they had Dougie P.
Well, I'm just saying that's what I'm saying though. Like, so I understand. I understand what you're saying that
I just
things
laugh
do go
about
his
it.
way.
I don't even hate anymore.
It's just more highlighted because he just wins. It's a different. You're going to nitpick at everything
Yeah.
because you're trying to sit there like, yo, how the fuck's this guy winning? Like you got like talents like Mahomes and Josh Allen, those
crazy.
guys, and they're not winning as much as him. And he's just a regular like old quarterback, a pocket passer, picking people apart.
Because he's smart.
He can't run. He can't do none of that.
He
So
doesn't do
it's
dumb shit.
less flash.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's interesting. That's an interesting argument.
All right,
But yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead.
You got anything else to say?
No, I don't.
No, I was being
I
serious.
know.
I was gonna say, all right, guys. Last thing, our AFC and NFC chips, and then we're getting out of here.
Go ahead.
All right, Jay, give me your AFC and your NFC championship game predictions.
Baylor by 4. No, I'm gonna play it one way. Bills all the way. I see the Bills just carrying all.
Who do you think they play in the AFC championship game?
All right, unpopular opinion: Eagles or Cowboys. Whoever wins that game, I think, is the big swinging dick going in. I think that's it. It's like, yo, Eagles got a chance to prove that they're going to crack Dallas. Dallas has got a chance they're going to prove they could crack the Birds. Let's go.
He's
Let's
focused.
go. Look at that. Look at that. 1.5.
You got the game
The money
streaming
don't
on your
sleep,
phone?
bro.
Money don't sleep, baby.
Money don't sleep, baby.
But no. I'm going to go either Eagles and Dallas against the Bills. I have no other. I have nothing else. I just think that this is the time for Josh Allen to prove it. He stays in that conversation because he's going to get the chip. You know, he'll be up there with Mahomes, like, you know. And look, Burrow, love him, stud. But I'll be honest, he just got there. You know, I think it's Allen's time.
You think Dallas has a chance?
Yeah, if they actually get their heads out of their ass, I think they have the caliber of team to perform. They put up. I mean, let's go through some of their games where no one expected them to come out.
I say that
points.
I say that because a couple of weeks ago I had Dallas as the second best team in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know, their recent play kind of tailors me away from it.
Did you see that one stat during the Redskins game? That since Dak returned, Dallas is leading the league in points scored.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah, number one.
That's
I actually didn't know that.
It was like over 33, I think.
I actually did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I think everybody was like, really?
What was it, Jameis Winston last year, 2 years ago? It's like the dude threw 5K. Yeah, he really fucked off and like threw
30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions.
Yeah.
That was the year.
I thought it was 50 interceptions.
Well, I was close to it.
Ricky, I was high when I saw that. But no, honestly, if Dak can control that little jello arm, whatever he's been doing the last few weeks, really sharpen up the knife. Yeah, I think he's dangerous.
Dak has
he's
all
dangerous.
the tools. You know what I mean? Like, do I think he's the most talented quarterback in the league? No. Do I think he's the best quarterback in the league? No. But I've seen jokers win Super Bowls. You know what I mean? Like Eli Manning. I'm sorry, guys. Nick Foles. Fucking Jim Kelly. Like
I just
Brad Johnson. Fucking, you know what I mean? Like you can win with
Aaron
that.
Rodgers.
Aaron, I do think Rodgers is talented as shit.
Yo, he's the sheriff,
Yeah.
man. Come
But-
to cash checks, man.
But like you can win with Dak, and I feel the same way with Hurts. I know a lot of people are skeptical with him. You can win with him if you put the right shit around him. Like look at what they did this year. They got AJ Brown. They still got Goddard. They put Smith in the 2 spot now. Like that's a dangerous team. So it's like you can win with Dak. People like to clown on him and shit because like you know they always got the Jordan crying face and shit on him.
Yeah.
But it's
Why are they clowning Dak though?
because he's a Cowboys
reason,
quarterback.
No, same reason why they've been clowning Romo for years. They put up the number, and just to see them lose is the stat.
Right.
Dallas lost again. It's like, dude, put up 35.
They got.
Come on.
I mean, we've all been on this theory together where Vegas definitely has a little pull and some stuff. There's got to be a time where Dallas does get it together, right? They're going to just be the choke team for the rest of the existence of the NFL.
Braj, I'm 33 years old. The last time I saw Dallas play the Super Bowl.
I agree.
I was
96. 96. I had the
Oh.
Deion Sanders outfit on, the headband. I was dancing around like I was prime time myself. But it's been, now I'm an old dude now. I'm 34. So it's like,
Are we missing prime
we need
time
a
now?
run.
Are we
Yeah.
missing out?
bring some Deion Sanders back.
Next, who you got the championship?
I got the Eagles versus the Niners. I think the Niners they're just a stout team, man. Their defense is legit. The Eagles are for real. I had the Bucks in it in the offseason, in the preseason. I picked the Bucks, but after what I saw in the regular season, I have no reason to believe they're going to be there. So I like San Fran and Philly going at it. I think Philly gets it done. And in the AFC, I like the Chiefs and the Bills. I think we're going to see a neutral site game. And going back to your bet, remember you said the Bills were 400 plus 4 or plus 400, and then it went down to plus 200. I think because when they won last game, they know that the AFC Championship game is going to be a neutral site. Whereas if it was in Kansas City, their odds would be a little bit higher because of that factor. I think that's kind of what the angle they're taking in Vegas.
Yeah, I saw after the breakdown. I just wasn't paying attention. I just the one thing that really caught my eye was like
the drop. Yeah.
What are remember the fucking coin flip? It's like, oh, if the Ravens actually win, we're gonna flip a coin. I'm like, you out of your fucking mind.
Well, that's
you're gonna flip a fucking coin.
Yeah.
Come on.
So
I saw that just being.
It would be a neutral field, and that would be cool. That would be dope. Honestly, that would be super dope.
Where do you think they go?
Except it sucks for people that are season ticket holders.
How
did they get to that game?
No, they gotta give them. They gotta at least give them the option.
The option.
They
yeah.
gotta.
I mean, you're going to pay for the airfare, the hotels, and all that shit. I mean,
I think unfortunately that would be circumstantial, like kind of like how I was saying with the fantasy thing in the very.
You get jerked
of the
off. Period. I mean, that's just what it is. Somebody's got to get jerked off in this point.
Are we getting any lube though? I may consider
Astroglide.
Yeah.
No. Wow. Little sandpaper action. That's gonna be rough.
Who do you got in the AFC NFC chip?
So for the NFC, I'm going to second what Jay said, just because you're never going to get as much Cowboys love as you're going to get on the show ever again, probably.
Never.
So I got it. Yeah, I got to ride with it because, again, I have to. I've been following this team forever. I have friends that literally, like you guys, want me to just be like, fuck them, just be an Eagles fan. Like, shut up.
Yeah, I'm tired
just
of that,
fucking do it.
I'm tired.
So you're like, you have to. And then I saw, I follow a lot of Cowboys shit. They said, imagine how sweet this postseason run could feel if the Cowboys get their shit together. So round 1, they beat Tom Brady. They never did it before. Round 2, they end Philly's dominant season. And, that question with who was,
that's a big one. That's a big
Then they beat Philly to go into the next round. Then the possibility to play the Niners in the NFC Championship game to get revenge on last season, which they shouldn't have done. And then they would go to the Super Bowl, and I would pick the Bills to get there. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't know.
Would you be okay?
Smart man would say no, but I would just have to. I have to say
I would love to play Seattle.
I'm saying and this is, I guess, being a Cowboys fan, I got to ask you, like, I don't want to play Seattle. I don't. I really don't.
I don't want to play the Chiefs if we get to the Super Bowl.
That's
the team. That's the team I don't want.
Love that game.
You don't want to play Seattle because they're one of those teams that have nothing to lose, bro.
I hate that.
There's no pressure on them. Everything will be on Dallas if they play.
Yeah, that was one of our Romo blunders too, with the fucking field goal where he dropped it. That was against Seattle.
Oh, that was.
Yeah. I just watch that. I know a lot of people don't like the Cowboys.
The Romo
watching the football life for Tony Romo. Very good.
Yo, I watched that live. And that was the craziest thing I've seen in my life.
Wild, right?
That was wild.
Weird ass story. You're like, this dude?
Yeah.
All right. Whatever. He was the nerdiest guy, but like the coolest, nerdiest guy.
Yo, and he's smart as fuck, by the way. I mean,
you can tell by that in the booth.
Yeah, I could see Romo being a head coach one day.
I was thinking that too.
That's serious.
It's a little older. Yeah.
I could see it.
When he doesn't want to call a game and make millions.
I was gonna say, that is the cake job right now. I'm sure he's making a pretty penny on that.
Wait, Span, I gotta say something real quick. Yo, this has been an amazing experience. This podcast is dope. Yo, this is awesome.
Thank you, dude. Thank you for coming.
My man.
Absolutely, man. This is awesome.
Yo, you're welcome. You guys are welcome anytime, man. We had such a.
I feel like we got to come back soon.
Yeah, absolutely. That shit was fun.
Before we wrap it up, I just want to say my NFC Championship game was.
Oh, shit. My bad.
It's all good. It was the Eagles and the Buccaneers. And in the AFC, I have the Bengals and the Cinderella team, the Chargers.
Run that back. You think
Eagles and Buccaneers are in the NFC Championship game?
That can play out, right?
Yes, because I think Seattle's beating the 49ers. The Eagles will play the 49ers.
I see.
And the Vikings will play the Buccaneers.
Yep.
Well, no, the Eagles would play Seattle.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. I just keep mixing it up.
I got you.
Eagles will play Seattle in the second round.
It's good theory.
Which they will take out Seattle.
Yes. And then they will host the Buccaneers in the NFC Championship game. And then
who's the Bills losing to?
Who's the Bills losing to?
Yeah.
The second round to the Bengals.
Wow.
And
I like that.
Whoa.
I like
That's
that.
going to be a lot of fun,
and
bro.
one even crazier, the Chargers are going to beat the Chiefs and go to the AFC Championship game in round 2.
I could see that.
I'll side bet you.
Yo, my man got the romper this year because he doubled down on Chargers and he's still going for him. I love that.
I will die on my Chargers.
He's like, I'm dying on this hill. Yeah, I love that.
I'm a bull.
I'm a bull. Go Bulls. It's insane.
Charge him up, gentlemen. Charge him up.
My God,
Yeah,
man.
guys, we had that was awesome.
So much fun, man.
Thanks for
Thank you guys for
rocking,
coming, dude. That was one of the funnest episodes we ever did.
Cool.
And Jay, was that your first time doing this?
With you guys, yeah, but no, I've done a few podcasts. I don't know. I love talking to people. You got
Yeah,
that
it's the
out.
best.
I can't wait to get my haircut tomorrow.
What time do you go? I go at 8 a.m.
I got 2:30. Yeah, 2:30. I'm excited.
I was here today. Yeah. I
Yeah,
came
can't wait to
as
get
soon as
on.
I found out I was
That's
coming
gonna be
last
so much
night, I
fun.
was like, all right, I'm going to get a cup.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Thank you to everybody that commented. That was a ton of fun. Jay, Span, thank you guys so much.
Thanks
That
for
was
having us.
thanks.
Thank you.
my favorite
absolutely,
episode
man.
to date.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was
Nick.
a lot of fun.
Take it away.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate all the love, support, and the comments. If you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on YouTube. We are also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeart, Megaphone, Stitcher.
And all that other shit.
Also, follow us on all of our social platforms as you do not want to miss our daily content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And we will see you guys next week at P&I, baby. Enjoy Wildcard Weekend.
Let's go.
That was fun.